It is Friday, October 17th. The months-long search for Samuel Bird is over. His remains have been found, and one person has been charged in his death.
It's not for me. It's not for my money. It's for our kids and our future.
Thousands of teachers and their supporters gather in downtown Edmonton, sending a message to the Premier. The strike looks like it's going to stretch into a third week. And the federal Liberals say Alberta's pipeline pitch will get fair consideration despite pushback from BC. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your Friday morning, Edmonton. Hopefully you're off to a good start to your day. Coming off a beautiful Thursday. Corey, we're starting Friday, looking towards the weekend, hoping for more of the same.
The weekend is changing, Kent. Gone are the really, really warm days. Yesterday we made it to 19. It was fantastic yesterday. A little bit cooler today, a little bit windier. As we go throughout the weekend, a bit of a change comes Sunday. We'll want to take a look at the forecast for the weekend and pay attention to that. I have those details, 3, 5, and 10-day forecasts as we go throughout the morning. Kent.
Okay. Thank you, Corey. Well, the search for Samuel Bird has ended. Police say they found the teen's remains in a wooded area outside of the city. Now, a 38-year-old man is facing multiple charges in connection with Bird's death. Bird was last seen in West Edmonton June 1st at a house near 150th Street and 106th Avenue. A fire broke out at that same house at the end of September. On the 1st of October, police said that they believed Bird was dead. His body was found yesterday. Police believe Bird was killed on June 1st, the last day that he was seen. Bird's mother, Alana, who's been the family's spokesperson through this ordeal, thanking police in a social media post, adding, quote, "I want to thank every single person who donated in hopes of finding my boy. Without all the help, we could not have kept this search going. I want to say thank you to those who kept me sane since June 1st. Now, 38-year-old Brian Farrell is charged with second-degree murder and 13 other charges, including assault, arson, and fraud. The lead investigator on Bird's file says it was a long and complex investigation, and he hopes this resolution will bring a measure of justice to family and friends. Police are not looking for any other suspects. Nicole Lampa will have more on this story a little later on Your Morning. Well, thousands of teachers and supporters took their message to the streets of downtown Edmonton, marching in support of public education. The teachers have been on strike since last Monday, so nearly 2 full weeks. The march took place outside of Ford Hall, where Premier Danielle Smith was speaking at a luncheon inside. Many at this rally hoping the strike helps students.
We need more funding. We need class cap sizes now. This is what we're here for. It's not for me. It's not for my money. It's for our kids and our future.
Bargaining between the teachers' union and the province remains at a standstill. As of yesterday, the ATA said no dates for further talks had been set. Finance Minister Nate Horner has said that back-to-work legislation is an option should the strike continue. Now, the minister in charge of Prairie's Economic Development Canada says Ottawa will consider all potential nation-building projects, including Alberta's pipeline proposal.
As a proud Albertan, I can certainly say that Alberta is entitled as any other proponent, to put forward a plan for a project that it feels should be considered as a project of national interest. Whatever Alberta puts forward will go through the same analysis, the same criteria as other proponents.
Edmonton MP Eleanor Olszewski says as of now, the details of any specific pipeline project are currently unknown. She acknowledged that Premier Danielle Smith has a plan to spend $14 million on the initial planning stages for a pipeline to BC. As far as whether Ottawa would step in to resolve the dispute between the provinces, Olszewski says anything is possible. She hopes something can be worked out that is advantageous to both provinces. Now, the Liberal government is also planning to introduce a bill to crack down on violent and repeat offenders.
People are afraid. They're afraid to go to the public library. They're afraid to get on public transit. They're afraid to go downtown. They're afraid to go to a community park in their neighborhood. And so we really do need to take some steps to make sure that, that the public has faith in the justice system.
Olszewski says the new bill fulfills a campaign promise from Prime Minister Mark Carney and involves consultation with provinces, justice officials, police, and social assistance organizations. The Federal Minister of Health will meet with her provincial counterparts in Calgary today. The ministers will be discussing doctor shortages, improved training for healthcare workers, and sharing resources across provincial boundaries. Alberta's health minister says this meeting will also help make a case for more healthcare funding.
I'm hearing from my counterparts that we have many successes across the provinces. We've all removed barriers within our own provinces and territories, but we are seeing that we have federal challenges that we have to deal with as well.
Adriana LaGrange says ministers are looking for promises that Ottawa will boost healthcare funding in next month's budget. LaGrange and her counterpart in Saskatchewan also say they have not been approached by the federal government about signing on to its pharmacare program since the spring election. Well, many in Edmonton are honoring the contributions of Bruce Saville. Saville died earlier this week. He gave both his time and his money to local charities and sports teams. He was a former governor of the U of A, chair of the Oilers Community Foundation, and Stollery Children's Hospital board member. In the 1990s, he helped buy the Edmonton Oilers to keep them from leaving town.
Bruce grew up playing hockey. He was a goalie for 57 years. That was his love. And I think when you look at someone that is wealthy enough to help out and to save a major team in a city, that was important to him.
Saville died on Monday after a heart attack while in hospital. He was 80 years old. Well, the New York Islanders scored their first win of the season, stealing one from the visiting Oilers.
And then Bouchard had his pocket pick. Barzal on a breakaway, in on Skinner, scores!
Evan Bouchard with a tough night on the blue line for the Oilers last night, losing the puck here, leading to the first goal of the game from Matt Barzal, who tucks it past Stuart Skinner. Oilers would take the lead, though. Leon Draisaitl scores on the power play to tie things at 1. And then in the second period, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins makes it 2-1. Bo Horvat would take over from there, though. He scores to tie things and then will score the winner late in the third period on the power play. Oilers took 5 penalties in the third period. Horvat would add an empty netter for the hat trick. 4-2 is the final. Oilers now move on to New Jersey. A matinee matchup against the Devils starts at 1:30 tomorrow. And Corey, a lot of people, I think, had the 2 screens going, had the Oilers game on one, the Toronto Blue Jays game going on another. Different results in those 2 games, so we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. But other people would have been outside enjoying what was a beautiful evening.
Yeah, it was a great day yesterday weather-wise. We had a lot of sun. The wind held off a bit, and we were warm. Yesterday, we made it to 19. As we take a look at the almanac for today, our high for today is 13. Average seasonal high 11, so still above it, just cooler than yesterday. Our average seasonal low is 1. We're going to dip down to about 4. Right now, as we take a look at our current temperature, we are at 5. It's clear. Wind is light, but it will pick up as we go throughout the morning. And then a little bit windy later today. 3 right now at the airport, so slightly cooler, but above the freezing mark in outlying areas. So take a look at our forecast. We'll start to see the wind pick up. Breezy as we go throughout the morning, and then some windy periods as we go throughout the day today. Bringing in the warmer air, though, relatively still compared to seasonal temperatures, 13 for a high. And we will see mainly sunny skies as we go throughout the day today. Now, the weekend, there's a bit of a change. As we take a look at tomorrow, 2 to start, 13 for a high and lots of sun, breezy as we go throughout Saturday. And then Sunday, there's a lot of uncertainty around Sunday. It could go 2 ways. At this point, I'm putting in a chance of a rain-snow mix, about a 40% chance, 4 to start, 7 for a high. There's a cold front that's coming through. It could be delayed a little bit, so we might see temperatures rise a little bit. We could see a rain-snow mix a little bit later on. but there is some uncertainty around that. So just keep that in mind. Sunday could be a little bit uncertain. Could see a rain-snow mix as we go throughout the day. So just plan that there could be some changing conditions. It is time to celebrate the spooky spirit and eerie elegance of Halloween. CTV Your Morning is on the hunt for the most hauntingly creative neighborhood displays. And one lucky winner will receive a grand prize of a $500 gift card to Big Box Outlet Store. Submit your photos by going to ctvedmonton.ca or by scanning the QR code on your screen. Sunday is the final day for submissions. After that, we will be visiting the top 10 displays, and the winner will be revealed at that point. So I've got a daytime photo and a nighttime photo. This is sent in by Rachel. Pretty spooky for even the daytime. We've got the graveyard there, the skeleton coming, or mummy, I guess, coming out of the ground. Very cool. Let's turn off the lights.
Ooh, very
spooky
fun.
as well. Looks like the inflatable comes on at night, and you've got an old witch or something on the porch on a swing.
This is in my neighborhood.
Really?
I walk past this one when I walk the dog.
Okay.
Yeah, they put this up maybe at the start of the week. Fun.
Leo, your son must love it.
Oh, yeah. He loves going on a little spooky tour. Tells me he's scared of every single one of them.
So that was Rachel who sent that in. Thank you, and good luck to you, Rachel.
Very fun stuff. Contest wraps up with submissions on Sunday, everybody. Now, St. Albert is making trick-or-treating a little easier for parents of kids with disabilities.
And this particular home is allergy-free.
They've created an interactive map showing homes that are planning to be accessible on Halloween night or are offering allergy-friendly treats. The idea for the map followed the city's first daytime curbside trick-or-treating event, removing barriers for kids.
People have been excited that St. Albert is trying to be a more inclusive community and allowing kids that have these challenges an opportunity for them to trick-or-treat in a more traditional sense.
I think it's kind of overdue, but I'm happy that it's here, and yeah, I hope it gives kids and families who have disabilities more of an opportunity to feel more included.
The map has existed now for 3 years. There's only a handful of homes currently registered, but the city says more people will start to sign on as we get closer to Halloween, which is now 2 weeks away on a Friday. That's going to be fun. Let's take a look at traffic now. 12 minutes past 6 o'clock, 104th Street, 82nd Ave to 80th. Directional road closures will remain until the 26th. 131 A Avenue, 132nd Street to 133rd, all closed up for water line installation for a few more days until the 24th. And 138th Street, 102 Ave to Stony Plain Road, closed for sidewalk upgrades until the 28th. Well, still ahead, Alaska's largest airlift rescue mission is now underway following a deadly storm. And after the ceasefire in Gaza, U.S. President Donald Trump says he's turning his attention to the war in Ukraine.
Here's a look at your Edmonton gas prices coming down again. From yesterday, the average gas cost is $1.17.4, so going in the right direction. Highest gas price still $1.27.9. If you're looking for some cheap gas, now this was reported about 7 hours ago, but there's a Petro-Canada on 165th Ave and 50th Street selling at $104.9.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Right now, the National Guard is undergoing what it describes as Alaska's largest airlift rescue mission in recent history. Extreme wind toppled homes and rain flooded entire communities. Hundreds have been forced to flee after a storm that local officials say killed at least one person. 2 others are missing. War and peace were on the agenda as U.S. President Donald Trump held a lengthy phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
President Putin congratulated President Trump for solving the conflict in Israel and Gaza and bringing peace back to the Middle East.
In a post, Donald Trump said, quote, "I actually believe that the success in the Middle East will help in our negotiation in attaining an end to the war between Russia and Ukraine." He said after a meeting next week between advisors, "President Putin and I will then meet in an agreed-upon location, Budapest, Hungary, to see if we can bring this inglorious war between Russia and Ukraine to an end." The Canadian passport has overtaken its American counterpart in a passport power ranking. The Henley Passport Index ranks Canada 9th for how many countries Canadians can access without applying for a visa. The U.S. passport is in 12th place, knocked out of the top 10 for the first time. Singapore is number 1. One of the hockey players found not guilty in a high-profile sexual assault trial in London, Ontario, will be returning to the NHL. Goaltender Carter Hart last played for the Philadelphia Flyers. He is now joining the Vegas Golden Knights. He will be eligible to play his first game after December 1st. Hart and 4 other members of Canada's 2018 World Junior Hockey team were accused of sexually assaulting a woman 7 years ago. They were acquitted in July. Hart is the first from this group to land an NHL contract. 2 others are playing in Europe and Russia. Carter Hart is from Sherwood Park. Immigration officers found 4 undocumented workers after searching a Calgary construction site yesterday. Canada Border Services Agency inspected the team working on the event center after receiving a tip about the work site. Immigration officers asking Calgary Police Service to be there as extra security measures. The 4 individuals found without status are required to report to the CBSA office this week. This investigation is ongoing. After falling behind 2-0 in the American League Championship Series, the Toronto Blue Jays have a chance to take the lead tonight with a win in Seattle.
Guerrero with a fly ball to right. He's hit it well. It is gone.
The Jays tying the ALCS at 2 games apiece last night, defeating the Seattle Mariners 8-2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s 5th home run of the postseason makes him the franchise leader in home runs in a single playoff, passing Jose Bautista. The Jays have hit 17 home runs in 8 games. That's the most they've ever hit in a postseason. Andres Jimenez hit another homer last night. He had 4 RBIs in this game, but offense was not the only story.
Scherzer's 1-2 pitch. Curve strikes him out. Max Scherzer defying father time.
41-year-old Max Scherzer pitching a gem, allowing 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings. Now, the moment of the night came just before that strikeout in the 5th inning as he fought to stay in the game, telling manager John Schneider to go back to the dugout and not take him out. Get out of here, John. This was Scherzer's first postseason win since 2019. He had not pitched in 22 days before last night. He's the oldest pitcher to start a postseason game since 2008. This was also his 500th career start. Jay's looking for more tonight. It's time for us to take a break. We'll be right back.
.623, you're taking a live look at downtown Edmonton. A pretty quiet start to the day today. Temperature-wise, pretty warm. That is the case throughout the province. Take a look at some of these temperatures. Right now we are at 5 here in the city. Slave Lake, Fort McMurray at 8. Red Deer 7. So pretty warm start to the day. Did have a lot of warm air yesterday in and around the province. Today, not expecting as much of a warm-up, but we are starting off pretty decently. We did see some rain pass through our region. It was fairly light. Fort McMurray expecting some showers this morning. We are seeing some west of the city there. As we take a look, the rain that we did see move through is now to the south and to the east of us, off into Saskatchewan. Red Deer towards Castor, seeing some showers there to start off this morning. But again, it's warm. As we take a look at the futurecast for today, we'll continue to see that push off. We'll see a little bit more cloud as we get into the lunch hour and afternoon, and then some clearing as we go throughout the evening. Clearing even more as we head into tomorrow, and lots of sun as we go throughout Saturday. Sunday, though, that's where a bit of a change is coming our way. 13 for a high for today. Winds will pick up, a bit of a breeze throughout the morning, and then gusty as we go throughout the afternoon and this evening. The early bird deadline for the Mighty Millions Lottery is tonight. Win a Porsche 911 plus a trip to Paris, or take $200,000 cash. Tickets at MightyMillionsLottery.com.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. We are taking a trip to Montreal for this one. It is the Canadiens and Predators. Montreal down 1. Net empty in the final minute. Jonathan Marchessault takes a shot, but Lane Hutson denies him. Then immediately fires the perfect pass up to Cole Caulfield. Beats UC Soros to tie it. Caulfield also scoring the OT winner for his second straight game, might I add. The heroics from Hutson and Caulfield earning them the must-see moment. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, Week 20 in the CFL kicks off with a doubleheader. You got the Rough Riders against the Blue Bombers, and then the Lions hosting the Elks. Coverage begins 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a fantastic Friday.
TSN Must-See Moment, brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
On Fridays, we like to reflect on our favorite stories of the week. And for me, it is those Edmonton Elks holding free football camps for high school players who've been sidelined by the teacher strike.
Unexpected circumstances happen, so you just got to kind of like make the most of it. So it's cool that, you know, everybody who's a part of this was able to set this up and give those guys a chance to continue to stay active.
Good advice. Shout out to Stephen Dunbar Jr. and the rest of the players for helping these kids and their parents. The franchise has talked about being more community-minded again, and this is how you do it. 140 kids at Commonwealth getting the chance to mix it up with the pros and do it for free. Well done to the Elks. There are more camps coming before the end of the month, and the Elks have that big game tonight in BC against the Lions, so good luck to them.
Yeah, for sure. They've been doing okay.
They've been doing all right, but they need a win tonight, for sure.
Yeah. My best of the week is something we can all relate to every once in a while. This isn't a photo. This guy's just relaxed. This is one tired panda laid out like a starfish enjoying a bit of a snooze. The cub was born earlier this year at the Panda Research Base in China, and he's already a pro at napping. Wondering why it has a gray hue? Well, it's because of the lack of black hair compared to white hair, which ends up creating a gray-looking blend. The cub will look more like pandas you're used to seeing when he turns 2, and he is just...
That's kids right there, though, isn't it?
For
you know,
sure,
they play so hard, and then they're just out.
They're out, yeah.
That is good stuff. Hey, keep it coming on the text line, whether you got a favorite story of the week or you're geared up for our candy bracket that's coming up a little bit later in the show. We're moving from the chocolate side to the candy side today.
Okay, so a little bit of a
lot
shift,
to be discussed, and we'll find out M&M's versus Smarties who won. That was a tight one. We'll be right back. Good morning. It is 6:30 here on Friday. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day. Beautiful day yesterday. Solid start today. And we're going to need to embrace what we have, Corey.
That's right. Today and tomorrow, nice. Not as warm as yesterday, but still pretty nice. But Sunday, we see a bit of a change in the forecast. We could see a cold front come through, possibly bringing a rain-snow mix. So Sunday is the day to look out for as far as a change in the forecast. More details on that. Your 5-day coming up in 6 minutes. Kent.
Okay, thank you, Corey. Well, police have recovered the remains of 14-year-old Samuel Bird, who had been missing since June. His accused killer will be in court on Monday. CTV's Nicole Lampa is live with the latest on this morning. So, Nicole, who have police charged?
Kent police say 38-year-old Brian Farrell is now facing a second-degree murder charge. Last week, Edmonton police said officers were searching for Samuel Bird's remains in the Carrick Creek region west of Edmonton. According to court documents, Bird's body was found in a wooded area yesterday. Farrell is accused of moving Bird's body there to avoid detection. The 14-year-old was last seen near a West Edmonton home on June 1st. In late September, detectives searched it. According to court documents, Farrell is accused of setting it on fire a few days later. Farrell is also facing 3 charges of assaulting a peace officer from earlier this month. The court documents Victims also allege Farrell told someone last week to issue a death threat to a woman named Alana Bird. That's the same name as Samuel Bird's mother. She's been the family spokesperson through the ordeal. Yesterday, she thanked police in a social media post, writing in part, "I want to thank every single person who donated in hopes of finding my boy. With all the help, we couldn't have kept the search going. I want to say thank you to those who kept me sane since June 1st. Now, Farrell is the only person charged in this case, and police say they are not looking for any more suspects. Farrell is facing a total of 13 charges. Tune in at 7 o'clock. We'll have more on what the lead detective has to say about this case, including how it has garnered unprecedented social media speculation. Kent.
Okay. Nicole, thank you. Well, thousands of teachers were protesting outside. Premier Danielle Smith was inside Ford Hall yesterday, advocating for investment in Edmonton. Smith addressing business leaders for the Edmonton Chamber of Commerce's State of the Province. The Premier spoke about the importance of municipal, provincial, and federal governments working together to attract private investment to Alberta. When asked whether visible protests would impact investment, Danielle Smith said she's hoping for a quick resolution with teachers.
It's important for families as well to be able to have the things return to normal for their kids. So that's what we're all working towards. I hope we get there very soon.
They're not making an investment on what they see in the next 2 days for a protest. They're looking on what they see for the next 10 years.
We've just asked the AT leadership.
Danielle Smith spoke about a variety of different issues, including crime, youth unemployment, and the need for federal approval of pipeline projects. A portion of the Yellowhead west of Edmonton is open this morning after a semi hauling an excavator damaged an overpass. This happened just after 10 yesterday morning at the turnoff to the Wabamun town site. RCMP say a large piece of the overpass fell onto Highway 16. The overpass was closed and eastbound traffic on the highway was redirected. Things were clear and the road opened again late last night. The RCMP says an engineer will assess the structural integrity of the bridge, and police are reminding drivers to measure twice, haul once.
We've had a lot of these bridge strikes in the recent time around Edmonton. You know, it damages critical infrastructure. It closes down these really important transportation routes for, significant periods of time. It's really important that truck drivers do that pre-inspection of their vehicle and of their loads that they're carrying.
RCMP say Alberta transportation officers will help determine appropriate charges. Diabetics in our city now have a new place to go for help. Covenant Health has opened a community wellness center in southeast Edmonton. The hub offers diabetes care and cardiac rehabilitation services that were originally offered at the nearby Grey Nuns Hospital. Diabetes Canada says more than 500,000 Albertans have diabetes and that the number could nearly double the next 10 years. Covenant Health says the center will give people in need care while alleviating pressure in hospitals.
This means that people who need to be seen right away in the ER will have space there, and people who have less urgent needs can be seen right here in the Community Health Center in Lakewood.
Parts of the hub opened at the end of September, while the Center for Diabetes Care started seeing patients last week. Phase 2 of the Covenant Wellness Community will include a residential building and a seniors continuing care center. Pieces by international street artist Banksy can now be seen in downtown Edmonton. An exhibition called The Art of Banksy Without Limits is inside City Centre. It features more than 200 pieces of work from the anonymous British artist. His submersive, anti-capitalist street art famously uses dark humor of stencil drawings. One of his most well-known pieces is a little girl letting go of a red balloon. Organizers say this is a rare experience that Edmontonians should take advantage of.
For me, I feel like we're exposing people to art who don't have the opportunity to be exposed by the art or go to Europe to see the actual buildings where he painted on.
The exhibition opens to the public today and will run through January. All right, let's bring Corey in for a look at the weather forecast. And I think there's a lot of people out there who have this weekend circled on the yard cleanup calendar. And seems like the forecast is going to hold out to get that work done.
At least for Saturday. Maybe aim for Saturday if you want to get that stuff done. And then Sunday could be a bit of a cozier day inside. Let's take a look at our almanac for today. Our high for today is 13, average seasonal high 11. We're going to dip to about 4, average seasonal low is 1. Let's take a look at our currents right now. We're at 4 in Stony Plain, 2 at the airport, 4 Elk Island, and 5 at the Blatchford Station. So relatively warm to start off this morning. Wind is on the light side of things, but the wind will pick up. Expecting some windier conditions as we go throughout the afternoon. Temperatures within the city, most locations coming in at 6. Again, the Blatchford Station, 5 degrees. For today, our high is 13. We'll see mostly sunny skies as we go throughout the day, and the wind will pick up. Breezy as we go throughout the morning, and then some windy periods as we go throughout the afternoon and evening. For tomorrow, looking quite nice. Lots of sun for Saturday, 2 to start, 13 for a high, and breezy. Sunday, a lot of uncertainty around Sunday. There's a cold front that's going to be coming through. If we see it earlier or later into the day, could determine if we see a bit of a rain-snow mix or just some rain. But there is a risk of that as we go throughout Sunday of seeing a rain-snow mix, 7 for a high. And then we start to see things improve from Monday, Tuesday. By Tuesday, 11 degrees. Your morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. Dream vacation, home renovations, paying off bills. The possibilities, endless. Today's code word is Friday. Head to the contest page on ctvedmonton.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter Friday with your info for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Edmonton's $20,000 giveaway. Good luck. Kent.
Thank you, Corey. Well, let's take a look at your commute. 6:38 here on Friday morning. 167th Avenue, 66th Street to 71st. Eastbound lane closed starting at 71st. And that project is going to last for several weeks until the 14th of November. 85th Avenue, 108th Street to 109. Total closure, water line installation there until October 21st. And then eastbound lane closures for power replacement until October 27th. That's on 104 Avenue and 102 Street to 101 Street. So heads up there as you make your way out this morning. Rush hour is going to start soon, and we'll keep a close eye on your drive. We'll still ahead. You decided the winner in an epic showdown between Smarties and M&M's. We'll have the winner and a new matchup in our Halloween candy bracket after the break. And a family frustrated with a lack of action after Air Canada separated them from their toddler on a flight. That story's in 10 minutes. And the civic election's coming up on Monday. Have you decided your vote? Well, we're going to have a big conversation about what you need to know about and who's emerging in the race for mayor. It's all coming together after the weekend. That conversation is after 7, so stay with us.
Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. Brought to you by CIR Realty. Making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Oh, it's time for the candy bracket.
I'm excited about this.
Yesterday was a big one.
And it played out the way it should.
M&M's versus Smarties, and by a few handfuls, Smarties is the winner. And what I know about those handfuls, they're full of colors, because that's exactly what Smarties does in your hand. Melts all over your hand.
People are just saving the red ones for the last.
Oh, I can't believe Smarties pulled that one out.
I'm very happy with the way that
I know you are.
I am. I think that it's well deserved.
No.
And it's going to be...
it's getting eliminated next round.
Okay, we'll see. Today's matchup is an interesting one. We've exited the chocolate bracket, and now we're focusing on Halloween candy. Ooh, look at this one. Okay, Starburst versus Skittles.
Both of them fruity.
Both chewy.
Chewy.
That is... Okay.
Is the Starburst wrapper a barrier for you?
It's annoying, and it's... Honestly, and some of them, you know, like you're having to pick at that wrapper a little bit. It's not like it comes off easy all the time.
No. It's like really stamped on there.
Skittles, very easy.
Very easy. I just don't think I'm a candy-coated person.
Okay.
You know? Like, I just don't.
You don't want that crunch?
No, I like the softer chew of this.
Once you get through that wrapper,
delicious.
Starburst are fantastic.
Delicious.
That's a lot of paperwork.
It is indeed. We're trying to limit the paperwork for you as we try to get down to the best Halloween candy as voted by you. So if you want to vote for Starburst in this matchup, you just text Starburst to 10400. If you want to vote for Skittles, text Skittles. Spelling counts, everybody.
Yes.
These aren't like regular text words.
It's going to autocorrect,
Yes.
so before you hit send,
make that adjustment because it doesn't get into the filter. It won't be counted otherwise.
Yeah.
So another big matchup, two similar candies. We're going to eliminate one of them and move on in the bracket. Ooh, this is fun stuff. Have your say, 10-400. A South African photographer has earned top honors in his field after capturing an eerie photo of an animal so rare it took him 10 years to get this picture. Whew, it is a brown hyena standing in front of an abandoned building in a former diamond mining town in Namibia.
Wow.
That is quite the picture. The prize-winning pick beating out more than 60,000 entries to claim the 2025 Wildlife Photographer of the Year award. Other photos included this longhorn beetle in central Italy in front of abandoned logging machinery. And this is a picture of an orphaned giant anteater trailing a caregiver at a rehab center. These photos are incredible.
Wow, hey? Some real talent to take those and...
Imagine waiting 10 years to get that picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, pets play favorites with their pets play favorites with their parents, and it's obvious when you're the spare human. Watch as Bella the healer gives cuddles to Dad and walks away from Mom when she tries to snuggle in beside her. She's definitely a daddy's girl. Obvious who gives her more treats. Maybe that's the secret there.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh. For a dog to give up cuddles from someone.
Yeah, that's favoritism.
Yeah, no kidding.
For sure. And how about this curious raccoon finding itself in need of a helping hand?
All right, buddy, hang on.
Is he stuck in the roof?
Yeah, that's right. A wildlife removal company in Ontario coming to the rescue. It got stuck in the porch ceiling trying to squeeze through. So the worker handed the raccoon a rope. It grabbed onto it, got free, plopped down on that ladder, which is a cool little landing spot.
Look at, he knew what to do.
I know, right? This is like Ace Ventura.
No kidding.
Detective, you know, making the
grab the rope, little guy. Yeah, that is amazing.
That is unbelievable. Has 12 million views, as it should.
It should, yeah.
What a rescue. Shout out to that guy and that raccoon. Teamwork, everybody.
Yes.
You can make things happen. Well, still ahead, a sunny vacation ends in frustration after a parent was seated rows away from their 18-month-old.
You should know that children are on the plane, and you should make sure that they are safe, full stop.
The Canadian family is sharing its frustration with Air Canada and the Canadian Transportation Agency. They say their 18-month-old was assigned to a seat several rows away from the closest parent, even though they paid for seat selection. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has more.
A sun-kissed Florida vacation ended in a cloud of uncertainty. The McLaughlin family's journey home to Toronto began with a 5-hour flight delay. Then the family of four learned that their 18-month-old daughter, Margaret, who they call Molly for short, had been placed on standby.
I said, how could she be on standby?
Eventually given a ticket, the McLaughlins then realized their toddler had been assigned to a seat all by herself, more than 6 rows away from her closest parent. Greg McLaughlin claims Air Canada flight attendants then refused to ask customers to switch seats, leaving the family to figure it out with passengers on their own.
You are a very large company that operates airplanes. You should know that children are on the plane, and you should make sure that they are safe, full stop.
Regulations state that children under 5 should be in a seat adjacent to their parent.
Hello, Greg. This is Amanda from the Canadian Transportation Agency.
Following a months-long investigation by the Canadian Transportation Agency, the CTA left this voicemail for the family last week.
We want to inform you that the investigation has now concluded and no enforcement action will be taken at this time.
I don't know why the Canadian taxpayer is paying for that agency. I'm not sure who they're protecting.
The maximum fine Air Canada could have received is $25,000. Consumer advocates believe the lack of action highlights a systemic issue.
The Canadian Transportation Agency and the government are serving the airline's private, financial, corporate interests instead of the public interest of passengers.
In an email, the CTA say their investigation found that the infant was seated with her family for flight AC 1659 and that no infraction to the regulations was found. According to her father, the only reason Molly ended up seated with her family was because her parents and passengers fixed the issue, while Air Canada staff refused to help. An email from Air Canada in part states that the airline has since taken measures to reinforce compliance through improved seat assignment technology. Air Canada eventually offered the family vouchers for future travel. The McLaughlins have declined.
For the family, they say this was never about receiving compensation. They never asked for vouchers. They simply wanted Air Canada to be held accountable. In their case, they believe that's something the Canadian Transportation Agency has failed to do. Adrian Gobro, CTV News, Mississauga, Ontario.
We're now just days away from electing a new mayor in this city, but is there a front runner? We're talking to a political strategist about how the campaigns have shaped up over the past few weeks and how important this final push is going to be. That conversation is after 7 o'clock.
Programming brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
6:57, here's the view from our CTV drone. We've got Grant McEwen, Rogers Place, downtown right there. Looks like traffic still fairly light heading in towards downtown. That'll probably pick up within the next half hour. But at this point, pretty quiet. Downtown looking nice. And as we look out to the east, southeast, we're seeing just a small layer of cloud. The cloud has been moving out. We've got mostly clear sky over the city right now. 5 degrees here in the city. It is warm throughout the province to start off this morning. Slave Lake, Fort McMurray 8, Red Deer 7. So pretty decent. To start off, we're not expecting a big jump in our temperature, but still just above average seasonal high. That's 11 degrees. We are looking for a high of 13. Winds will pick up as we go throughout the morning, more so into the afternoon. Some windy periods for today and mainly sunny. Tomorrow, breezy, sunny and 13, and then Sunday, cold front coming through. It's been a little bit uncertain as far as when this will come through on Sunday. Could see it earlier or later into the day. Just know that there's a chance that we could see some changing conditions on Sunday, possibly a rain-snow mix. And then we start to clear out for the beginning of next week. By Tuesday, 11 degrees. Next week looks nice. 13s and 14s as we go throughout Wednesday to Friday. And next weekend also looking pretty decent. It is October 17th, and we have these milestones to share. Wishing Dennis a happy 70th birthday. Love Donna, Alex, Katie, Art, and Kona.
And a happy birthday to Dylan, a kind and thoughtful 8-year-old. Love Mom, Dad, Isaac, and Tyson.
And a happy birthday goes out to Anne-Marie. Love from your family and friends.
Submit your milestone at ctvedmonton.ca under Your Morning. You could win a $100 gift card to Coolman's Greenhouse, which we draw for every week.
All right, Corey, let's solve a morning mystery, shall we?
Let's do it.
Clue number 1. Wax is a common slang term for this.
Slang, wax. That's wax. I don't know. I've never really heard that.
I don't know if that's the right context. It's a good try, though. Clue number 2. Black is not the natural color of this material.
Okay.
Got it, I think.
He's got it? Kent, you're so wax.
You know what? It does work. It totally works. Yeah. Clue number 3, the grooves on one are less than 1,000th of an inch wide. Big resurgence in the last couple of years. A record? Vinyl records? It is.
It is.
Vinyl record.
Throw in some wax.
You're so wax. Have a wax day, everybody.
Totally. We're gonna make this happen. Wax is gonna happen.
Wax is happening.
Yep.
You started today. You tell us that you saw it on Your Morning, which is a real wax show. You get it. The news you need to start your day begins right now here on your Friday, October 17th. Well, the months-long search for Samuel Bird is over. His remains have been found, and one person has been charged in his death.
It's not for me. It's not for my money. It's for our kids and our future.
Thousands of teachers and their supporters gathering in downtown Edmonton, sending a message to the Premier. The teacher strike looks like it's going to stretch into a 3rd week. And the federal Liberals say Alberta's pipeline pitch will get consideration despite pushback from BC. Your morning starts right now. Just after 7 o'clock, welcome to your Friday morning, Edmonton. We begin with the end of a 4.5-month search for Samuel Bird. Investigators finding his remains yesterday, charging a 38-year-old with second-degree murder. CTV's Nicole Lamp is live with the latest on this morning. So, Nicole, Brian Farrell is accused of killing Bird. Are there other suspects?
Kent police say they are not looking for other suspects in relation to the murder. The lead investigator says this has been a long and complex investigation, one filled with unprecedented social media speculation, and he hopes this resolution will bring a measure of justice to family and friends. Last week, Edmonton police said officers were searching for Samuel Bird's remains in the Carrot Creek region west of Edmonton. According to court documents, Bird's body was found in a wooded area yesterday. Farrell is accused of moving Bird's body there to avoid detection. The 14-year-old was last seen near a West Edmonton home on June 1st. In late September, detectives searched it, and according to court documents, Farrell is accused of setting it on fire a few days later. Farrell is also facing 3 charges of assaulting a peace officer from earlier this month. The court documents also allege Farrell told someone last week to issue a death threat to a woman named Alana Bird. That's the same name as Samuel Bird's mother. She's been the family spokesperson through the ordeal. Yesterday, she thanked police in a social media post, writing in part, "I want to thank every single person who donated in hopes of finding my boy. Without all the help, we couldn't have kept this search going. I want to thank you to those who kept me sane since June 1st. Now, Farrell is facing a total of 13 charges. He was arrested Wednesday, and Bird's remains were found yesterday. Farrell has a court appearance here in Edmonton on Monday. Kent.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. Well, thousands of teachers and supporters took their message to the streets of downtown Edmonton yesterday, marching in support of public education. Teachers have been on strike for nearly 2 full weeks now. The march happening outside of Ford Hall, where Premier Danielle Smith was speaking at a luncheon inside. Many at this rally hoping the strike will help students.
We need more funding. We need class cap sizes now. This is what we're here for. It's not for me. It's not for my money. It's for our kids and our future.
Bargaining between the teachers union and the province remains at a standstill. As of yesterday, the ATA said no dates for further talks had been set. Finance Minister Nate Horner has said that back-to-work legislation is an option should this strike continue. Well, the minister in charge of Prairie's Economic Development Canada says Ottawa will consider all potential nation-building projects, including Alberta's pipeline proposal.
As a proud Albertan, I can certainly say that Alberta is entitled as any other proponent, to put forward a plan for a project that it feels should be considered as a project of national interest. Whatever Alberta puts forward will go through the same analysis, the same criteria as other proponents.
Edmonton MP Eleanor Olszewski says as of now, the details of any specific pipeline project are unknown, acknowledging Premier Danielle Smith's plan to spend $14 million on the initial planning stages for a pipeline to BC. As far as whether Ottawa would step in to resolve the dispute between the 2 premiers over a potential pipeline between Alberta and BC, Olszewski says anything is possible, hoping something can be worked out that is advantageous to both provinces. And the Liberal government is planning to introduce a bill to crack down on violent and repeat offenders.
People are afraid. They're afraid to go to the public library. They're afraid to get on public transit. They're afraid to go downtown. They're afraid to go to a community park in their neighborhood. And so we really do need to take some steps to make sure that, that the public has faith in the justice system.
Olszewski says the new bill fulfills a campaign promise from Prime Minister Mark Carney and involved consultations with provinces, justice officials, police, and social assistance organizations. And the federal Minister of Health will be meeting with her provincial counterparts in Calgary today. The ministers will be discussing doctor shortages, improved training for healthcare workers, and sharing resources across provincial boundaries. Alberta's health minister says the meeting will help make a case for more healthcare funding.
I'm hearing from my counterparts that we have many successes across the provinces. We've all removed barriers within our own provinces and territories, but we are seeing that we have federal challenges that we have to deal with as well.
Adriana LaGrange says ministers are looking for promises that Ottawa will boost healthcare funding in the next budget, which is coming early November. LaGrange and her counterpart in Saskatchewan also say they have not been approached by the federal government about signing on to the pharmacare program since the spring election. Well, the New York Islanders scored their first win of the season last night, stealing one from the visiting Edmonton Oilers.
And then Bouchard had his pocket pick. Barzell on a breakaway, in on Skinner, scores!
Evan Bouchard with a tough night last night for the Oilers, losing the puck here, leading to the first goal of the game as Matt Barzell tucks it past Stuart Skinner. Oilers would take the lead. First, Leon Draisaitl scores on the power play to tie things up. Then in the second period, it's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins making it 2-1. From there, though, it's the Bo Horvat show. He would score to tie things, also on a breakaway. Then late in the third, on the power play, he scores the winner. Oilers took 5 penalties in the third period. Horvat adding an empty netter for a hat trick. 4-2 is the final. Oilers now move on to New Jersey. A matinee matchup against the Devils starts at 1:30 tomorrow. All right, let's bring Corey in for a look at the forecast. And not as nice as yesterday today, but still something to embrace.
Yeah, that's right. Yesterday was fantastic. We made it up to 19 today. Still above seasonal for today, but a bit cooler than what we had yesterday. There's MacEwan University, lit up quite nicely as we fly above it with the CTV drone, looking at downtown Edmonton. Now, the street's looking pretty quiet at this point. Still fairly early, though, still before the big rush hour. As we take a look at downtown from another vantage point, pretty quiet, the camera holding strong. We are expecting the winds to pick up as we go throughout the day today. So a little bit gusty, especially as we get into the afternoon. 13 for a high, average seasonal high is 11. 4 for a low, average seasonal low is 1 degree. Let's take a look and see where we are at right now. We've gained a degree in the last hour now at 6. At the airport, temperature there, -2, so seeing temperatures drop at the airport. So with some of the clearing, some temperatures have dropped off, especially in outlying areas. A little bit warmer within the city, though. 13 for a high for today. Lots of sun as we go throughout the day, just a little bit of scattered cloud, and the wind will pick up, especially once we get into the afternoon. Breezy for tomorrow, 2 to start, 13 for a high, and lots of sun. And Sunday, as I've been saying, a lot of uncertainty around the day. There's going to be a cold front coming through. If it'll happen early, midday, possibly a little bit later in the day, there's a chance that it could bring some showers, maybe even some wet flurries with it. So a chance of a rain-snow mix as we go throughout Sunday. Just keep in mind that there's a chance for changing conditions as we go throughout the day on Sunday. The early bird deadline for the Mighty Millions Lottery is today. It's tonight. Win a Porsche 911 plus a trip to Paris or take $200,000. Tickets at MightyMillionsLottery.com. Ken.
All right, thank you, Corey. Well, President Donald Trump is hosting Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky at the White House today. Trump is already signaling he is not ready to sell Kyiv the long-range missile system that the Ukrainians say they desperately need. Now, recently, Trump seemed open to selling the long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine, even as Russian President Vladimir Putin warned that such a move would further strain U.S.-Russia relations. Now, this meeting today follows a lengthy phone call between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin yesterday. After that call, Trump appeared to downplay the prospects of selling Ukraine the missiles.
I did actually say, would you mind if I gave a couple of thousand Tomahawks to your opposition? I did say that to him. I said it just that way. He didn't like the idea. He really did like the idea.
Today is the 4th face-to-face meeting between Trump and Zelensky this year. Trump will also hold an in-person meeting with Vladimir Putin in Hungary in the coming weeks to discuss ways to end the war. Former Trump administration National Security Advisor John Bolton has arrived in court for his first appearance today. He's accused of storing top secret records at home and sharing classified information with relatives. An 18-count indictment also suggests classified information was exposed when operatives believed to be linked to Iran hacked Bolton's email account in 2021. Bolton has been an outspoken critic of President Trump since he was fired in 2019. This is the third criminal case against Trump adversaries in the past month. Senior officials from the Canada Revenue Agency say the agency has surpassed its target for answering more calls from Canadians. In early September, Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne had set a 100-day timeline for the CRA to fix call center delays. The CRA says it hoped to answer at least 70% of calls by mid-October. A representative from the CRA now says the agency surpassed that target near the beginning of the month, with 77% of incoming calls answered between September 29th and October 3rd. All right, let's take a look at your drive as we approach rush hour here this morning at 7:11. 104th Street, 82nd Ave to 80th Avenue. Directional road closures will remain in place until the 26th of this month. 131A Avenue, 132nd Street to 133rd. All closed up for waterline installation until October 24th. And 138th Street, 102 Ave to Stony Plain Road, all closed for sidewalk upgrades until the 28th. No stalls or collisions so far in the drive, which is good news. Well, it's your chance to win a trip to Paris and a brand new Porsche while helping families in need of the Stollery Children's Hospital. Kim is at the Grand Prize Show home for the Mighty Millions Lottery. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning. At midnight is the deadline. We're talking about early bird prizes for tonight for Mighty Millions Lottery. I have our good friend Megan with us, rocking the turtleneck as well. We got the cozy weather vibe happening. Tell us about the early bird prizes.
It is not to be missed, Kim. So you can win a trip to Paris, 7 nights for 2 people. But that's not all. As soon as you come home, there's going to be a brand new Porsche waiting in your driveway. And if you'd rather stay close to home, you can take $200,000 cash. But time is ticking. You got to buy your tickets by midnight tonight.
All of that sounds good. Tickets, of course, goes to Stollery Children's Hospital. We have a mighty kid joining us later this morning. Who do we have?
Yeah, we've got Lachlan and his family coming in. He is such a light. You guys are just going to love him. I can't wait for you to meet him.
I can't wait to meet him. So why don't you go downstairs, get Lachlan, get him ready, and then I'm going to wake up Josh Clausen. What song do you think I should wake him up with?
Oh, you know what? Pink Pony Club.
Okay, let's do it. Everybody come on into the beautiful primary. You have this amazing, almost like a lobby that greets you into the primary. Josh has been sleeping here all night, enjoying the amenities of the Grand Prize Show home, and I'm going to wake him up now. And this is how I was going to jump on the bed. Pink Pony Club, get up, Josh. Come on out.
You're very loud.
I know.
It's impossible to sleep.
I'm always loud. This is what my naturally caffeinated. Come on out.
Okay.
Do you enjoy yourself here at the house?
Listen, you know what? This house, sorry, I know you don't like when some...
You can hold it if you want. This is why I don't let you hold the microphone.
It's early, all right? It's early. Listen, this house is spectacular. This bed, I love my wife. She would not let me sleep diagonally across a king-size bed like this, like I did last night.
Did you starfish?
Oh, I used every square inch of this bed. And then the storm last night was spectacular. This primary suite has a sleeping quarters. It doesn't have a closet. It has a dressing room. It has 3 shower heads in the shower. It's spectacular.
You're freshly showered. Like, tell me about your time in there, because I know that you were talking about that.
You said you just woke me up. I've actually done yoga. I've done my crossword puzzle. I've showered. I'm good to go. I've been up for several hours. Corey, I have words with you about that Sunday forecast. All right. I was looking at some things. I don't know.
I'll text you.
The shower is spectacular, but you do have to. There's a lot of windows in there. You
have to like your reflection.
You gotta like your body in the reflection.
Okay, we're going to talk to you more about the Grand Prize Show home later on the show, but we've run out of time. Get your tickets now for Mighty Millions Lottery. Go to Mighty Millions Lottery.
What do you mean we ran out of time?
We ran out of time, man. MightyMillionsLottery.com to get your tickets. You have to get it for the early bird prize deadline tonight at midnight. We're also giving you a chance to win $1,000 cash.
Just because I slept here.
Just because Josh slept here. $1,000 cash. Text Mighty to 10400.
Well, still ahead with Edmonton voters heading to the polls Monday. We're talking to a political strategist about the key issues of the election and whether political fatigue is impacting the voter outcome. Plus, fans celebrating after a comeback from the Toronto Blue Jays again. We'll take you live to Seattle ahead of Game 5 after the break.
Here's a look at your Edmonton gas prices. Coming down again. Average gas cost $1.17.4. Highest gas price $1.27.9. If you're looking for some cheap gas, don't know if this is still the case, but the Petro-Canada on 165th Ave and 50th Street late yesterday was selling at $1.04.9.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. Brought to you by CIR Realty. Making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta.
Edmontonians head to the polls on Monday. Along with councillors and trustees, voters will be choosing our city's next mayor. There are plenty of candidates, but has a front runner emerged? Political strategist Najib Jutt is here for more clarity on this. So, Najib, is anyone standing out from the crowd right now?
I guess it depends on what poll you look at. I mean, I saw one poll where Andrew Knack was leading by quite a bit. But other than that, I mean, it seems to just flip-flop back and forth between him and Tim Cartmel. I think it's still really close between the two of them. But they're definitely the front runners. And then we have, people in third and fourth place trailing.
So we're heading into the weekend now, just a couple days left of campaigning. Is there enough time for those who maybe are trailing in the polls to make up some ground? And are there enough undecided voters at this point to really make a difference?
I think so. I mean, I think the undecided is still quite high. The advanced voting, we've had a higher turnout than in 2021, so that's nice. I mean, that shows that people are interested. Advanced voting is usually a good indicator. Remains to be seen if that continues on election day. There is time, and people are just starting to pay attention. The people who tend to vote will now do their research in the next 2 or 3 days and, talk to people, do the research online. They'll watch videos and things like that to try to help them make up their mind so that they can decide who to vote for. So, I think having a strong, very, very strong social media campaign over the next few days is very important. Really highlighting how you're different from other candidates. If you're doing well in the polls, to really highlight that and show that, because that helps people make up their minds as well. So there's tons of stuff that you can still do. It's tough, by now in a campaign, I've been in many of a campaign office in the last few days. You kind of have an idea of what kind of momentum your campaign has. And so it's tough if you're really lagging and you don't have that momentum yet to pull that off in the last few days. But if you have momentum to really capture it and to really light a fire under it, then now is the time.
Now, what are the key issues here, and have the candidates been able to address them effectively?
And this is the problem, right? I just think that there's a lot of lackluster ideas. It's just the same old stuff that we see election after election, property taxes, which I think are very important to people with cost of living, but they're not the only thing. And that seems to be what everybody's focused on. Now, I understand that that's the main way that the city gets revenue and then decides how to spend money and provide services. But there's other things that are, on people's plates, so to speak, in terms of cost of living, utility costs. The only person I've really seen really speak on utility costs directly is Michael Walters, talking about bringing down utility costs. And that's a big one. It's probably more than property taxes when you include internet and et cetera that everybody's looking at monthly. And no one has any idea, and this is one that to me, it seems like it's pretty easy since the city of Edmonton is the only shareholder of our biggest utility company. Seems to me like this would be an easy one to address, or at least talk about different ways that we can give people a little bit of relief on utility costs. And I just don't think like there's any really good or positive ideas around saving people a little bit of money every month. Omar Mohammed, which I think has done an incredible job of getting people's attention, had an idea about a city subsidized groceries, but he didn't really build on that. But I think those kinds of things, I think that candidates in elections like this don't forget that, it is a battle of ideas. It's not that, you're going to be able to deliver on all these ideas, but having having some innovative thoughts and innovative ideas that capture people's attentions, capture people's minds, and say like, okay, this guy is really thinking about something different that might help that we haven't tried before. But you don't really see a lot of that in this campaign, in this election.
All right, well, just a couple of more days before we find out that winner, depending on how long it takes to count the votes. Najeeb, thanks so much for joining us. A reminder, it is voting day on Monday.
7:23, you're taking a live look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right or it's free, 6 degrees. A beautiful start to the day today. We did see some showers, some storms move through, but those have moved out. We've got clear sky right now over the city, and that really hasn't been affecting our temperature a whole lot, except out by the airport where the temperatures just dip below the freezing mark a little bit. Jasper, -1. That looks to be one of the coolest spots in the province. We have 7 in Slave Lake, one of the warmer spots. As we take a look at sky conditions, Fort McMurray seeing some rain in the region. Lac La Biche just north of there also seeing some scattered showers, but fairly clear in our area. There's the rain that moved through, most of it now off into Saskatchewan. Castor also seeing some rain and showers approaching Coronation. That is all pulling to the east-southeast. It looks like west of Calgary, Canmore and areas north of there are seeing some wet flurries and some showers. None of that here in the Edmonton area, but there's a chance that we could see some of that on Sunday. As far as today, mainly sunny throughout the morning, mainly sunny into the afternoon, and then fairly clear this evening. Temperature for today, 13 for a high, and a little bit windy as we go throughout the afternoon. Your morning just got a whole lot richer. We are giving away a staggering $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. A dream vacation, home renovations, paying off bills. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is Friday. Head to the contest page on ctvedmonton.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter Friday with your info for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Edmonton's $20,000 giveaway. Good luck. Kent.
Thank you, Corey. Well, all season long, the Toronto Blue Jays have been resilient, often overcoming early deficits, and they did it again last night, tying the American League Championship Series at 2 with another win in Seattle, and they're on the field for Game 5 later today. CTV's Melissa Duggan is in Seattle on the field for us this morning. Melissa, let's start with Max Scherzer last night. What a performance from the fiery 41-year-old.
Absolutely, Mad Max in full effect, delivering a performance that no one will soon forget. A couple of walks off the top. Yeah, there was a home run that Mariners Mississauga-born Josh Naylor got, but then after that, a solid performance that we saw from him. He did not want to leave the mound. That's how much he was enjoying it. That's how much he was locked in. That very cool moment where we saw Jays manager John Schneider walk up to that mound, check in on his pitcher. That's what we see managers do. And the message that Scherzer had for Schneider was loud and clear. I'm good. Let's go. He didn't want to get off that mound. He wanted to toss in some more pitches, and he did that, sticking around for 5 2/3 innings. But yeah, that confrontation that we saw between the two, where Scherzer made his point very clear. You know, if they wanted him off the mound, I think that Schneider was just going to have to pick him up, scoop him up, and pull him off of there. He wasn't going to leave. We heard from him after the game, too, just saying, listen, that was just a real raw moment that was showing passion, that was showing grit, and that was just showing that Scherzer was locked into this game and really delivered the performance that the Jays needed here last night.
And we've seen how much the other players on the team enjoyed that. Ernie Clement in the moment laughing, George Springer talking about it in the dugout. Yeah. This team certainly seems united. Has that transferred in confidence to the fans that are there in Seattle?
Yeah, it has. It's transferred to the fans. And, you know, we always are talking about this season about how much fun the Jays are to watch. And we saw it in that moment there and the kind of like ongoing reaction that they had in the dugout and just how much of a team that they play together as. As for the fan involvement, I mean, if you were watching on TV last night, you probably heard chants of "Let's go Blue Jays, go Jays, go" from Seattle, because that's how loud these Blue Jays fans were in Seattle. So they're getting a lot of support here while they're on the road. At times, it feels like a home game, especially when some of the Mariners fans leave early because they were seeing the writing on the wall once again with that final score all the way up to 8 runs for the Blue Jays, 2 for the Mariners, and making this series tied at 2. This is a 3-game series. Baseball coming back to Toronto after tonight, Game 5 is going to be played here. And then Sunday is when we're going to see the Blue Jays travel north of the border back to Canada once again. Might see Game 7. We'll see about that one.
It's really heating up. Melissa, thanks so much for this. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks, Ken.
Time for us to take a break. We'll be right back. Good morning, you beautiful city. It's 7:30 here on Friday morning. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day. Lots coming up in the next half hour, including your take on the candy bracket. Things are really heating up around here. Corey, weather-wise, heating up a little bit too, right?
Yeah, and we're starting off pretty warm. We are at about 5 degrees right now. Just not as big of a warm-up as yesterday, but we'll still be above average seasonal high. The wind will blow today. The weekend, there's a bit of a change-up come Sunday. I have your 5-day forecast in about 6 minutes. Kent, back to you.
All right, thank you, Corey. Well, the months-long search for Samuel Bird is over. Investigators locating the 14-year-old's remains yesterday in a rural area. A 38-year-old man now facing a second-degree murder charge. CTV's Nicole Lampa has the latest on this morning. So, Nicole, a lot of developments this week. How did police find Bird's body?
Kent, police will only say Brian Farrell was arrested and charged on Wednesday. Then yesterday, Bird's body was discovered. Last week, Edmonton police said officers were searching for Samuel Bird's remains in the Carrot Creek region west of Edmonton. According to court documents, Bird's body was found in a wooded area. Farrell is accused of moving Bird's body there to avoid detection. The 14-year-old was last seen near a West Edmonton home on June 1st. In late September, detectives searched it. According to court documents, Farrell is accused of setting it on fire a few days later. Farrell is also facing 3 charges of assaulting a peace officer from earlier this month. The court documents also allege Farrell told someone last week to issue a death threat to a woman named Alana Bird. That's the same name as Samuel Bird's mother. She's been the family spokesperson through the ordeal. Yesterday, she thanked police in a social media post, writing in part, "I want to thank every single person who donated in hopes of finding my boy. Without all the help, we couldn't have kept this search going. I want to say thank you to those who kept me sane since June 1st. Now, Farrell is the only person charged in this case, and police say they are not looking for any suspects in relation to the murder. Farrell is facing a total of 13 charges. At 8, we'll have more on what the lead detective has to say about this case, including how it has garnered unprecedented social media speculation. Kent.
Okay. Nicole, thank you. While thousands of teachers were protesting outside, Premier Danielle Smith was inside Ford Hall yesterday advocating for investment in Edmonton. Smith addressing business leaders for the Edmonton Chamber of Commerce's State of the Province. The Premier speaking about the importance of municipal, provincial and federal governments working together to attract private investment to Alberta. When asked whether visible protests would impact investment, the Premier said she hopes for a quick resolution with teachers.
It's important for families as well to be able to have the things return to normal for their kids. So that's what we're all working towards. I hope we get there very soon.
They're not making an investment on what they see in the next 2 days for a protest. They're looking on what they see for the next 10 years.
We've just asked the AT leadership.
Smith spoke on a variety of issues, including crime, youth unemployment, and the need for federal approval of pipeline projects. A portion of the Yellowhead Highway west of Edmonton is open again this morning after a semi hauling an excavator damaged an overpass. This happened just after 10 yesterday morning at the turnoff to the Wabamun town site. RCMP say a large piece of the overpass fell onto Highway 16. The overpass was then closed and eastbound traffic on the highway was redirected. Things were clear and the road opened again late last night. The RCMP says an engineer will assess the structural integrity of the bridge, and police remind drivers to measure twice, haul once.
We've had a lot of these bridge strikes in the recent time around Edmonton. It damages critical infrastructure. It closes down these really important transportation routes for significant periods of time. It's really important that truck drivers do that pre-inspection of their vehicle and of their loads that they're carrying.
RCMP say that Alberta transportation officers will help determine appropriate charges. 2 orphan grizzly cubs will be staying at the Calgary Zoo permanently. The cubs were brought to the zoo last month after their mother was killed in a human encounter near Diamond Valley. The Wilder Institute says they would have died in the wild because the cubs are so young and dependent on their mother. The zoo says the cubs are adapting well and slowly building trust with their new caregivers. They have yet to be given names. 3 Edmontonians have been honored for their contributions to the community. The 3 men given the Alberta Orders of Excellence last night by the Lieutenant Governor. Sign Chatty is a philanthropist and former Alberta MLA. John Day is someone who's held leadership roles and worked to preserve Edmonton's architectural heritage. And Doug Stollery is a prominent lawyer who helped secure charter protections for LGBTQ2S+ Canadians. Well, pieces by international street artist Banksy can now be seen in downtown Edmonton. An exhibition called The Art of Banksy Without Limits is inside City Centre. It features more than 200 pieces of work from the anonymous British artist. His subversive, anti-capitalist street art famously uses dark humor of stencil drawings. One of his most well-known pieces is a little girl letting go of a red balloon. Organizers say this is a rare experience that Edmontonians should take advantage of.
For me, I feel like we're exposing people to art who don't have the opportunity to be exposed by the art or go to Europe to see the actual buildings where he painted on.
The exhibition opens to the public today and runs through January.
7:36, here's the view from our CTV drone. We've got MacEwan University, Rogers Place, and all of the downtown high-rises in view there. It looks like traffic's picking up a little bit in the downtown core. It hasn't been too bad on Edmonton roads, although volume is building, and there's one collision that we'll be talking about in a short bit. But the weather not getting in the way of the morning drive. It's fairly warm to start off, relatively speaking. 3 in Stony Plain, -2 at the airport, 4 Elk Island, and 6 at the Blatchford Station. Winds are starting to pick up. We're starting to feel a little bit of a breeze now, and they will continue to pick up as we go throughout the morning, especially into the afternoon. 4 in Rio Terrace, and then most locations coming in at 6 degrees. Our high for today is 13, and we will see a mix of sun and cloud as we go throughout the day. And as I said, wind will pick up, a little bit gusty as we go throughout the afternoon and evening. For tomorrow, 13, sunny, a little bit of a breeze, and then Sunday, a little bit of uncertainty around Sunday. There's the potential to see some change as we go throughout Sunday with the cold front coming through. We could see a bit of a rain-snow mix or some rain as we go throughout the earlier mid-part of the day. So just keep that in mind. Some uncertainty around Sunday. There's the potential to see some change as far as sky conditions, and then things settle down Monday, Tuesday, 9 and 11. I'll take a look at your 10-day forecast coming up in 15 minutes. It's time to celebrate the spooky spirit and eerie elegance of Halloween. CTV Your Morning is on the hunt for the most hauntingly creative neighborhood displays, and one lucky winner will receive a grand prize of a $500 gift card to Big Box Outlet Store. Submit your photos by going to ctvedmonton.ca or by scanning the QR code on your screen. Sunday is the final day for submissions, so you still have a few days left. After that, we will be visiting the top 10 displays, and a winner will be revealed soon. Here is a home. It sounds like it's in Kent's neighborhood.
It is, yeah. Recognize this one from the walks.
That'd be hard to forget that one, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Rachel sent this in. This is the daytime photo. Very spooky, very well done. You've got a graveyard. You've got mummies coming out of the ground there. This is the shot at night. Things start to light up.
Yeah, fun.
So kind of neat to see that in the day and at night.
Yeah, and it looks a lot different at nighttime.
Yeah, totally. So thank you so much for sending that in, and good luck to you, Rachel. Again, the submission deadline is on Sunday.
And we're going to be delivering signs so you can brag to the neighbors to our top 10 finalists coming up soon. So looking forward to that. So We're also, as we approach Halloween, which is 2 weeks away, determining the best Halloween candy as voted by you. Yesterday in our bracket, big matchup between M&M's and Smarties. I thought this would be a runaway for M&M's.
Yeah, but the real Smarties out there voted.
I can't
Smarties
believe
came
it.
out the winner.
Smarties is the winner between
That's right.
M&M's. Listen, I'm not going to argue with the people. The people had their say.
They have spoken.
I don't know if the right people were voting, but they did, and they move on.
Yeah, today's matchup could be interesting as well. We're leaving chocolate and going on to candy. And take a look at today's contestants. We've got Starburst as well as Skittles. Starburst, a lot of paperwork to get to the candy, I think. Skittles is a little bit more accessible, but you've got the sweetness on both. One's a little more chewy. You have to break through the candy shell on the Skittles. So
there's a lot to consider.
A lot to consider. Some people probably love one more than the other, though. So
some people in the text line saying I love them both, but you got to decide.
You got to pick
which one is better.
Yeah,
they're similar, but which one is
similar yet different?
Exactly. Exactly.
Vote Starburst or Skittles. And we can't stress this enough. Check your spelling before you send, before you hit that send button, because it will autocorrect probably on these words for sure. So Starburst or Skittles.
Yeah, Starbust is not going to count.
Nope.
Not going to count. So hit us up at 10400 to have your vote. Let's take a look at your drive. We do have this crash that Corey mentioned. This is northbound on the Henday. The North Henday westbound at 82nd Street. So heads up there. And then volume is also building southwest on the Henday and White Mud and Terwilliger, as it often does. We also have volume issues on the West Yellowhead, 75th Street as well. So it is slow going in some of those main commuter routes. So far, this one collision to worry about as well. Well, Edmontonians now just have the weekend to decide who they want to lead this city for the next 4 years. And this week, we've been profiling 5 mayoral candidates based on who the Chamber of Commerce says are the most popular. This morning, CTV's Nicole Lampa takes a closer look at the campaign of Michael Walters.
So the election's coming up October 20th.
Former councillor Michael Walters hopes to get back into City Hall, this time as mayor. He's pledging to cut taxes, freeze transit fares, and lower utility rates. Walters would like to also expedite permits to grow Edmonton's industrial base. When it comes to public safety, Walters believes the province should play a larger role, saying he would also expand safety teams, which pairs police with social workers. For infills, Walters would like the bylaw to change to 4 units for inner lots and 6 units on corner lots, and says a city catalog of approved infill floor plans and designs is worth exploring. And when it comes to city planning, Walter believes there's a better way to plan Edmonton's development and construction, and echoes his plan to expedite permits for businesses wanting to invest in Edmonton.
We need change in this election, but the change I bring is really experience. So not-for-profit experience, know how City Hall works. I'm a small business owner.
The municipal election is on October 20th. Nicole Lampa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Well, coming up in Edmonton area city, making sure trick-or-treating is accessible for every little ghoul and goblin. And we'll be picking our favorite stories of the week. Find out which ones made the list in 10 minutes. Plus, a federal minister from Edmonton weighing in on the possibility of a new pipeline project from Alberta to BC. That's coming up after 8 o'clock. Stay with us.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The city of St. Albert is making trick-or-treating a little easier for parents with kids with disabilities.
And this particular home is allergy-free.
So they've created an interactive map showing homes that plan to be accessible on Halloween night, or ones that are offering allergy-friendly treats. The idea for the map followed the city's first daytime curbside trick-or-treating event, removing barriers for kids.
People have been excited that St. Albert is trying to be a more inclusive community and allowing kids that have these challenges an opportunity for them to trick-or-treat in a more traditional sense.
I think it's kind of overdue, but I'm happy that it's here, and yeah, I hope it gives kids and families who have disabilities more of an opportunity to feel more included.
The map has existed for 3 years now, though there's only a handful of homes currently registered. The city says more will appear as we get closer to Halloween. Well, here's your chance to win a trip to Paris and a brand new Porsche while helping families in need of the Stollery Children's Hospital. Kim is at the grand prize show home for the Mighty Millions lottery. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Ken. To everybody in Edmonton, get your tickets before midnight tonight. That is the deadline for the early bird prize. Or you can take $200,000 cash. And you're entered to win this amazing home. We're in the primary suite walk-in closet right now, which feels more like a retail store. And just off of the primary walk-in closet, we have the laundry room, which is also massive. I am joined by a mighty family. We have 8-year-old Lachlan right here. High five, Lachlan. He's tinkering with the laundry here, which is always so much fun. And we have parents Johanna and Kieran. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Can you tell me about Lachlan's history?
Yeah, it started at 7 months. We went to the Stollery. We just felt things weren't right. And at that point, he was diagnosed with infantile spasms and other rare metabolic condition. From that point forward, we became a Stollery family, so requiring to go regularly for blood work. If Lachlan gets sick, he requires his team following him very closely. So it means long admissions, lots of time. And then in 2023, he caught a cold, turned into an infection in his mastoid bone, which led to an emergency brain surgery, brain shunt. Scary, but he's here, thriving, thanks to the Stollery. And we continue our journey with the Stollery, always just monthly blood work. Our teams check in with us and follow him closely.
Right. And Kieran, how thankful are you for the Stollery Children's Hospital?
Oh, extremely. I mean, they've just been part of our lives since he's been 8 months old. And they've just been an absolute cornerstone in everything that we've had to go through with Lachlan, everything that he goes through. And they've just made life manageable for him.
Yeah, he's seems like a great kid. I only met him for the last few minutes, and he's just a bright light, and he loves tinkering with things. He's even helping out around the house and cleaning up with laundry. Thanks, Lachlan. Now Dr. Patchup is nice and clean. Remember to grab your tickets for the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. Families like Lachlan's need your help. Buy your ticket before midnight tonight for your chance to win the Porsche and Paris trip. Go to mightymillionslottery.com. And bonus, you have a chance to win $1,000 as well. Text MIGHTY to 10400. Good luck, everybody. Good job with the laundry, Lachlan. Very nice.
As we reflect on the week that was and our favorite stories of the week. For me, it's the Edmonton Elks holding free football camps for high school players who've been sidelined by the teacher strike.
Unexpected circumstances happen, so you just got to kind of like make the most of it. So it's cool that, you know, everybody who's a part of this was able to set this up and give those guys a chance to continue to stay active.
Shout out to Stephen Dunbar Jr. and the rest of the players for helping the kids and their parents. The franchise has talked about being more community-minded again, and this is how you do it. 140 kids at Commonwealth getting the chance to mix it up with the pros, doing it for free. Well done to the Elks. They've got more camps coming up before the end of the month. They have a big game tonight against the BC Lions, so go Elks in that one.
Yeah, and to be one of those kids, what an opportunity, too. Wow. My best of the week is something we can all relate to, maybe even specifically being on a Friday. This guy, just one tired panda, laid out like a starfish, enjoying a bit of a snooze. That looks... You know what? It doesn't matter what surface, even if you're on concrete, he just looks relaxed.
Totally.
Yeah, he's probably had a hard day out on the playground.
Yeah,
and is just
power down.
Power down, yeah.
There's no more juice.
You'll notice he's a little bit gray. I guess their real black fur doesn't come in until they're about 2 years old. So when they're babies, they look a little bit more gray, which is kind of cool.
What a vibe this panda's been delivering.
Totally.
All week long for us.
He's just,
that was early in the week, and you're like, yeah, that's my favorite for sure. And a lot of people out there, I'm sure, as well. I also like this one from last weekend.
I want to invite someone very special to stage. Please give it up for Tia Wood.
Shawn Mendes performing in Vancouver, welcoming Cree singer Tia Wood to perform his song Youth with him. Wood's from Saddle Lake Cree Nation, east of Edmonton. Second time she's performed on the stage at Rogers Arena in Vancouver. She was also at the Juno Awards recently. Wood added her own verse to the song, blending pop and powwow music together. Wood's sister says the performance meaning a lot to the Indigenous community, and Tia Wood's got a new single that is out today.
Very cool.
Yeah, so you can go check that out wherever you find music these days.
Yeah.
And keep them coming on the text line. It is Starburst versus Skittles in our candy bracket.
Skittles with T's.
With T's, yeah. Spelling counts, everybody. It's time for us to take a break. We'll be right back.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
7:57, here's a view from the CTV drone. We've got Commonwealth Stadium, where we were just talking about the Elks and the kids program that they have going there. Beautiful shot there. Things starting to brighten up quite nicely. Even Northlands in the background. Sky conditions, lots of sun as we're starting off this morning. It'll be a mix of sun and cloud as we go throughout the day today. Temperatures warm throughout the province. We are at 6, 7 Slave Lake, 6 in Fort McMurray. Pretty decent as we start off on this Friday morning. For today, 13 for a high. We will see a mix of sun and cloud, and the wind will pick up. A bit windy as we go throughout the afternoon and the evening. Tomorrow, too, 13 for a high and sunny on Saturday, a bit breezy. Sunday, a lot of uncertainty around the day on Sunday, so keep that in mind. There's the potential that we could see a cold front come through and bring us some rain, possibly a rain-snow mix midday. If it stays a little bit further to the northwest, we might see temperatures a little bit warmer, but just keep that in mind. Sunday, there's the potential for conditions to change. 9 on Monday, 11 on Tuesday. I'll take a look. Oh, no, I do have your 10-day forecast. As we look at the rest of next week, 13 and 14s. Next weekend looks quite nice as well. Average seasonal low has been about 10, 11 degrees for the last few days. Most days are at or above it, so we're doing pretty well for the 10-day forecast.
Milestones, brought to you by Coolman's Flower Shop. Colorful, fresh designs for any occasion.
Wishing Dennis a happy 70th birthday. Love Donna, Alex, Katie, Arth, and Kona.
Happy birthday to Dylan, a kind and thoughtful 8-year-old. Love Mom, Dad, Isaac, and Tyson.
And a happy 61st birthday goes out to Anne-Marie. Love from your family and friends.
Submit your milestone at ctvedmonton.ca under Your Morning. You could win a $100 gift card to Coolman's Greenhouse, which we draw for every week.
Time for a morning mystery, Gumshoes. Clue number 1, wax is a common slang term for this. And if you missed it earlier, Corey's really trying to make wax catch on. Have a wax day, everybody. What a wax jacket. Clue number 2, black is not the natural color of this material. That's what gave it away for me. But perhaps clue number 3 will drive it home for you. You can drop a needle on it. The grooves are less than 1/1000th of an inch wide. Something to consider. It is a vinyl record. Lay down the wax today. Enjoy a good tune, everybody. The news you need to start your day begins right now. Here on this Friday, October 17th. The months-long search for Samuel Bird is over. His remains have been found, and one person has been charged in his death.
It's not for me. It's not for my money. It's for our kids and our future.
Thousands of teachers and their supporters gathering in downtown Edmonton to send a message to the Premier. The teacher strike looks like it will stretch into a 3rd week. And the federal Liberals say Alberta's pipeline pitch will get consideration despite pushback from BC. Your morning starts right now. At 8 8 o'clock. Welcome to your Friday, Edmonton. We begin with the lengthy Samuel Bird police investigation appearing to come to an end with the discovery of his remains yesterday. A 38-year-old man is now facing a second-degree murder charge. CTV's Nicole Lampa is live with the latest on this morning. So, Nicole, Brian Farrell is accused of killing Bird. What's next for him?
Kent, now begins the court process. 2 days ago, Farrell was arrested and charged. Monday, he has a court appearance. The lead detective says this has been a long and complex investigation, one filled with unprecedented social media speculation, and he hopes this resolution will bring a measure of justice to Bird's family and friends. Last week, Edmonton police said officers were searching for Samuel Bird's remains in the Carrot Creek region west of Edmonton. According to court documents, Bird's body was found in a wooded area yesterday. Farrell is accused of moving Bird's body there to avoid detection. The 14-year-old was last seen near a West Edmonton home on June 1st. In late September, detectives searched it. According to court documents, Farrell is accused of setting it on fire a few days later. Farrell is also facing 3 charges of assaulting a peace officer from earlier this month. The court documents also allege Farrell told someone last week to issue a death threat to a woman named Alana Bird. That's the same name as Samuel Bird's mother. She's been the family spokesperson through this ordeal. Yesterday, she thanked police in a social media post, writing in part, "I want to thank every single person who donated in hopes of finding my boy. Without all the help, we couldn't have kept this search going. I want to say thank you to those who kept me sane since June 1st. Now, Farrell is facing a total of 13 charges. He's accused of killing Bird the day Bird disappeared. Bird would have turned 15 at the end of September. Kent.
Okay. Nicole, thank you. Well, thousands of teachers and their supporters took their message to the streets of downtown Edmonton yesterday, marching in support of public education. The teachers have been on strike for nearly 2 full weeks now. The march took place outside of Ford Hall, where Premier Danielle Smith was speaking at a luncheon inside. Many at the rally hoping this strike also helps students.
We need more funding. We need class cap sizes now. This is what we're here for. It's not for me. It's not for my money. It's for our kids and our future.
Bargaining between the teachers union and the province remains at a standstill as of this morning. The ATA says no dates for further talks have been set. The provincial finance minister, Nate Horner, has said that back-to-work legislation is an option should this strike continue. The minister in charge of Prairie's Economic Development Canada says Ottawa will consider all potential nation-building projects, including Alberta's pipeline proposal.
As a proud Albertan, I can certainly say that Alberta is entitled, as entitled as any other proponent, to put forward a plan for a project that it feels should be considered as a project of national interest. Whatever Alberta puts forward will go through the same analysis, the same criteria as other proponents.
Edmonton MP Eleanor Olszewski says as of now, the details of any specific pipeline project are unknown, acknowledging that Premier Danielle Smith does have a plan to spend $14 million on initial stages for a pipeline to BC. As far as whether Ottawa would step in to resolve the dispute between Smith and BC Premier David Eby over pipelines, Olszewski said anything is possible. She's hoping something can be worked out that is advantageous to both provinces. Well, the New York Islanders scored their first win of the season, stealing one from the visiting Edmonton Oilers last night.
And then Bouchard had his pocket pick. Barzal on a breakaway, in on Skinner, scores!
Tough night for Evan Bouchard last night for the Oilers, losing the puck here, leading to the first goal of the game. Matt Barzal tucking it past Stuart Skinner. Oilers would take the lead, though. Leon Draisaitl would score on the power play to tie things up in the first. Then in the second, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will make it 2-1 for the road team. After that, though, Bo Horvat takes over. He scores on a breakaway to tie it. Then the winner comes late in the third on the power play. Oilers took 5 penalties in the third. Horvat would add an empty netter for the hat trick. 4-2 is the final. Oilers now move on to New Jersey. They have a matinee matchup against the Devils that starts at 1:30 tomorrow. And tomorrow, for a lot of people in the city, Corey, looks like the day to finish up the yard cleanup, just to make sure everything's tidy before whatever else comes.
Yeah, things will be changing a little bit on Sunday. There's the potential that we could see a bit of a rain-snow mix on Sunday. So keep an eye on that day and see how it develops. Right now, you're taking a live look through the CTV drone as we fly low over MacEwan University. Some beautiful work of art on some of the buildings out there. A lot of construction down in that part of the city. It looks like people are handling it okay this morning, though. Traffic has looked a little bit on the light side downtown. Maybe people are just taking an extra day today or heading in a little bit later. As we look outside right now, we are seeing mostly clear sky. It's going to be a nice, bright, sunny start to the day. Today's high is 13. Average seasonal high, 11. We did dip to 4, but we have warmed a little bit since then. Let's see our temperature update. 6 degrees, fairly clear. Wind starting to pick up a little bit. We're starting to feel a little bit of a breeze, and it will continue to pick up. A little bit gusty as we go throughout the afternoon. -2 at the airport. As we take a look at our forecast for today, again, our high is 13. Winds pick up. It'll be a mix of sun and cloud. Overall, not too bad of a day, just a bit on the windy side. Tomorrow, breezy and 13. Lots of sun as we go throughout Saturday. Then we've got cloud moving in on Sunday. A lot of uncertainty around Sunday. We'll have to see how it develops the closer we get to it. But at this point, it looks like there's a chance with a possible cold front coming through midday that we could see some rain, possibly a rain-snow mix. Better chance north of the city, but there is potential. So just keep that in mind. Conditions could change come Sunday. The early bird deadline for the Mighty Millions lottery is tonight. Win a Porsche 911 plus a trip to Paris or take $200,000. Tickets at mightymillionslottery.com. Ken.
Thanks, Corey. Well, President Donald Trump is hosting Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky at the White House today. Trump already signaling he's not ready to sell Kyiv the long-range missile system that Ukrainians say they desperately need. Recently, Trump seemed open to selling the long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine, even as Russian President Vladimir Putin warned that such a move would further strain U.S.-Russia relations. Now, the meeting today with Zelensky follows Donald Trump's lengthy phone call with Putin yesterday. After that call, Trump appeared to downplay the prospects of selling Ukraine the missiles.
I did actually say, would you mind if I gave a couple of thousand Tomahawks to your opposition? I did say that to him. I said it just that way. He didn't like the idea. He really didn't like the idea.
Today is the 4th face-to-face meeting between Trump and Zelensky this year. Trump will also be holding an in-person meeting with Putin in Hungary in the coming weeks to discuss ways to end the war. Now, Venezuela's president wants U.S. President Donald Trump to stop an order that would trigger what he calls, what Donald Trump is calling a CIA coup inside the South American country. President Nicolas Maduro says Venezuela does not want war, just peace. Trump told reporters yesterday that he had authorized the CIA to conduct covert action in Venezuela. The United States has not ruled out ground strikes in an effort to go after drug cartels. Maduro's government says U.S. intervention in Venezuela would violate international law. It is approaching 10 after 8 here on your Friday morning. Let's take a look at your commutes. We have this crash north Anthony Henday westbound at 82nd Street, impacting the drive there. There's also a crash 170th Street northbound before the White Mud overpass, so heads up if that's part of your drive. Volume issues elsewhere, West Yellowhead and 75th Street. Slow as we finish up the rush hour commute this morning. We're still ahead, how Canada became the #1 supplier of meth to New Zealand. A W5 investigation into gangs here and the pipeline to the South Pacific.
Here's a look at your Edmonton gas prices, still going in the right direction, down. The average gas cost, $1.17.4. Highest gas price is $1.27.9. And last time I looked, and last time it was updated, the Petro-Canada on 165th Ave and 50th Street was selling it at $1.05.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
After falling behind 2-0 in the American League Championship Series, the Toronto Blue Jays have a chance to take a lead tonight with a win in Seattle.
Guerrero with a fly ball to right. He's hit it well. It is gone.
The Jays bashing their way back to a tie in the ALCS with a Game 4 victory last night. 8-2 over the Seattle Mariners. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s 5th home run of the postseason makes him the franchise leader in playoff home runs in a single season, passing Jose Bautista. The Jays have hit 17 home runs in 8 games. That's the most they've ever hit in any postseason. Andres Jimenez hit another homer last night. He had 4 RBIs in this game, but offense was not the only story.
Scherzer's 1-2 pitch. Strikes him out. Max Scherzer defying father time.
41-year-old Max Scherzer pitching a gem, allowing 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings. The moment of the night, though, came just before that strikeout in the 5th inning as he fought to stay in the game, telling manager John Schneider to go back into the dugout. Get out of here, John. Sit down. This was Scherzer's first postseason win since 2019. He hadn't pitched in 22 days before last night. He is the oldest pitcher to start a postseason game since 2008. This was also his 500th career start. Kevin Gausman on the mound tonight. It's your chance to win a trip to Paris and a brand new Porsche while helping families in need of the Stollery Children's Hospital. Kim is at the grand prize show home for the Mighty Millions Lottery. A lot going on there this morning, Kim.
Oh, it's a party this morning. Take a look behind me. We have 8-year-old Lachlan. He's a mighty kid. Josh Clausen is doing some laundry with him, and his mom, Johanna, is joining us in the back. We'll speak to them a little later. But Megan, let's talk about Lachlan's story. He did have a rare diagnosis, medical complexities. How important is it to support the Stollery Children's Hospital for him and his family?
Well, you know, Kim, each year there are more than 300,000 patient visits at the Stollery, and the Stollery is the most specialized children's hospital in all of Western Canada. So the team there can help kids just like Lachlan who maybe have some complexities, all the way to kids who maybe have broken bones or tonsils and things like that. So it is vital that we support the Stollery, and when you buy your Mighty Millions lottery ticket, you're helping us purchase equipment and invest in research so we can help kids today and well into the future.
Is there anything specific that the Stollery needs tremendously, like right now?
You know, there's always things the Stollery needs. The great thing with the lottery is that we meet with our hospital partners on a regular basis. So we are putting those funds towards what is actually needed, especially after we just came off of the pandemic and things changed in an instant, right? We don't want to make those decisions for the hospital. So we wait, we give them the money, and then we make sure it is used where it is most needed.
Okay, so I just took a look behind me, and it's only Josh now. I thought Lachlan was going to be there, but he's actually, that's okay, that's all right. He's exploring the house. So why don't we talk about the grand prize show home?
This house is amazing. Our friends at New Ground Developments really outdid themselves. It's almost 6,000 square feet. There is beautiful indoor and outdoor living space. One of my favorite places has to be in the lower level. There's, you know, this wellness studio that has a sauna.
Yeah, that's right. Is it a dry sauna, or is it like the one that you put water in it? Do you know?
Does it matter?
True. Yeah, fair enough. We're gonna kind of sneak by here, and I'm gonna go in between our little party over here. He loves doing laundry, right?
All the time.
All the time. Something to tinker with. Lachlan's just being such a great guy here. Josh, what do you think about Lachlan?
My sons love to do laundry as much as you do, Lachlan.
You did well. You're a good mom teaching. Perfect. Early bird prize deadline is tonight at midnight. It's your chance to win a Porsche and a trip to Paris, but you have to get your tickets at MightyMillionsLottery.com. Also, bonus, this is your chance to win $1,000. All you have to do is text Mighty to 10400. Where's the party? Where did Lachlan go? Hello?
I chased him away. Do you want me to hold that mic again?
No.
Thank you, Cable. Still ahead, a cartel footprint in Canada as criminals move meth out of the country.
What we'll do is we'll cut into it and just see what we can find on the inside.
Can I see inside the hollow? Oh, there's more in there.
So there's another bag in there as well.
W5's Avery Haynes joins us to talk about the impact Canada's meth pipeline is having in New Zealand.
Here is the view from the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed rider, it's free. 5 degrees right now here in the city. Our temperature over the last few hours has been going back and forth between 5 and 6 degrees. We are mostly clear as we start off the day today. It is warm throughout the province. Slave Lake 7, Fort McMurray 5. Jasper, the cool spot at -1. Other than that, most areas are above the freezing mark to start off today, into the mid-single digits. So pretty decent as we start off. Not as big of a temperature jump for today. Yesterday we made it to 19, but today will still be above average seasonal high. Average seasonal high for today is 11. Fort McMurray seeing some heavier rain in the region. Lac La Biche also seeing this. Most of it is north of the town there. As we take a closer look at Edmonton, we're seeing a little bit more cloud southwest of the city right now. Drumheller and then areas west and northwest of Calgary. A bit of a rain-snow mix down there. Nothing like that here in the Edmonton area, but there's a chance that we could see some of that Sunday. So keep that in mind. Sunday, we could see some changing conditions. For today here in Edmonton, a mix of sun and cloud. The wind will pick up, a bit gusty at times, and our high for today is 13. Your morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. A dream vacation, home renovations, paying off bills. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is Friday. Head to the contest page on ctvedmonton.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter Friday with your info for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Edmonton's $20,000 giveaway. Tune in Monday for another code word and good luck.
Made in Canada.
Never in a million years would I thought it would come from Canada.
Exported to the other side of the world.
As a cartel, they'll be looking at what is the easiest way to get it to New Zealand.
Canada has become the #1 exporter of methamphetamine to New Zealand and Australia. CTV National News Investigative Unit W5 returns tomorrow with a 1-hour expose on how this happened, from cartels in our country to biker gangs in the South Pacific. Host Avery Haynes follows the pipeline, and Avery joins us this morning for a look at this investigation. Avery, thanks so much for joining us. Now, most Canadians would be shocked to know that we're a major exporter of meth to the Pacific. What did you find out here?
Good morning, Ken. I was shocked when I first started investigating it as well. I had to keep checking over the numbers because it just didn't make sense, because we just don't hear about this in Canada. They sure know about it in New Zealand, though. The 2 largest meth busts in New Zealand's history both originated in Canada, in beer and in maple syrup. And so when we looked at the numbers and saw that it wasn't just those 2 busts, over the last 4 years, nowhere else on earth has supplied more meth than Canada in New Zealand.
So how is it getting smuggled out of our country all the way there?
Just about every way you can imagine, and it goes through different trends. The largest shipments, so when we're talking about tons of meth getting from Canada to New Zealand, it's going by sea, by air a lot. Just in August, they had 134 kilos found in machinery on an air cargo flight from Vancouver. It's going through the mail. I mean, it really is. They're finding all kinds of ways to get it there. And you might wonder why. Why would they bother taking this massive route, some 20,000 kilometers away from Canada, literally on the other side of the world? And the reason is money. There's no more lucrative place to get meth than New Zealand. In Mexico, meth costs $500 a kilo. In Canada, it's about $10,000. In New Zealand, it goes for $300,000. So this really does come down to dollars.
Wow. Now, there's a new story on our website today talking about a confrontation that you had with the Hells Angels in New Zealand. Can you talk us through how that happened?
Well, the other thing I learned that I didn't know before is that New Zealand has the highest per capita gang membership of just about anywhere else in the world. There are dozens of biker gangs, and they're responsible for distributing the meth once it gets into the country. So there's the honeybees, the killer bees, there's the headhunters, Black Power, Mongrel Mob, and also Hells Angels. And there had just recently been a raid at a Hells Angels headquarters, and this was in in a sort of suburban neighborhood. We just went to take some shots of the clubhouse, which was walled off with a big gate and security cameras everywhere. And we figured everyone had been arrested because they put the president, the vice president, and the sergeant at arms all behind bars for meth distribution. And somebody came charging out and not so politely asked me to leave, which we did.
Okay. Now, you also have a rare interview with the head of the RCMP's organized crime unit. What did he have to say about cartels in Canada?
Well, I was shocked by this because you may remember earlier this year, the Canadian government declared 7 foreign cartels as terror entities. And that was on the heels of the U.S. government doing the same thing. And I think a lot of people thought we were just sort of following in their lead. The chief superintendent of organized crime with the RCMP confirmed that the reason why they were declared terror organizations is that each of those cartels are actively committing crimes in Canada.
Wow. It is explosive investigation that is upcoming. Avery, thank you so much for your work, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Kent.
So Avery Haynes Investigates Cartel Canada airs on CTV, CTV.ca, the CTV app, and the CTV YouTube channel tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. We are taking a trip to Montreal for this one. It is the Canadiens and Predators. Montreal down 1. Net empty in the final minute. Jonathan Marchessault takes a shot, but Lane Hutson denies him. Then immediately fires the perfect pass up to Cole Caulfield. Beats UC Soros to tie it. Caulfield also scoring the OT winner for a second straight game, might I add. The heroics from Hutson and Caulfield earning them the must-see moment. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, Week 20 in the CFL kicks off with a doubleheader. You got the Rough Riders against the Blue Bombers, and then the Lions hosting the Elks. Coverage begins 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a fantastic Friday.
TSN Must-See Moment, brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Good morning. It is 8:30 here on your Friday. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day, coming off a beautiful day yesterday. A little storm overnight. Beautiful sunrise today, Corey. We're winning, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, and we'll win today and tomorrow. And then Sunday, a bit of a change in the forecast. So for today, lots of sun as we start off. It'll be a mix of sun and cloud. The wind will blow today. It will pick up. And then a bit of a change comes Sunday. I'll have those details. I have your 5-day forecast coming up in about 6 minutes, Kent.
Well, thank you, Corey. Edmonton police say they have concluded the lengthy and complex Samuel Bird investigation. His remains were located yesterday in a rural area. A 38-year-old man now facing multiple charges, including 2nd-degree murder and interfering with a body. CTV's Nicole Lampa is live with the latest on this morning. So, Nicole, what else are police saying about the case?
Kent, police say that Brian Farrell is the only person charged in this homicide and are not looking for any other suspects in relation to the murder. Farrell was arrested 2 days ago and will be in court on Monday. Last week, Edmonton police said officers were searching for Samuel Bird's remains in the Carrot Creek region west of Edmonton. According to court documents, Bird's body was found in a wooded area. Farrell is accused of moving Bird's body there to avoid detection. The 14-year-old was last seen near a West Edmonton home on June 1st. In late September, detectives searched it. According to court documents, Farrell is accused of setting it on fire a few days later. Farrell is also facing 3 charges of assaulting a peace officer from earlier this month. The court documents also allege Farrell told someone last week to issue a death threat to a woman named Alana Bird. That's the same name as Samuel Bird's mother. She's been the family spokesperson through the ordeal. Yesterday, she thanked police in a social media post, writing in part, "I want to thank every single person who donated in hopes of finding my boy. Without all the help, we couldn't have kept the search going. I want to say thank you to those who kept me sane since June 1st. Farrell is now dealing with a total of 13 charges in connection to Bird's death, and the lead detective says he hopes the latest developments will bring some measure of justice to Samuel's loved ones. Police say they are aware of ongoing social media speculation with this case and remind the public that harassment and threatening behavior is against the law. Kent.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. A fatality inquiry into the deaths of 3 people during the Columbia Icefields Tour bus rollover begins today. The bus lost control on a road leading to the Athabasca Glacier in Jasper in July of 2020, rolling about 50 meters before coming to a stop on its roof. 14 other people were seriously injured. The RCMP did not lay criminal charges, but bus operator Brewster Inc. pleaded guilty to 2 occupational health and safety charges. A justice is expected to hear about brake inspections and maintenance of the bus during the fatality inquiry. The inquiry cannot assign blame, but will make recommendations to prevent other deaths. While thousands of teachers were protesting outside, Premier Danielle Smith was inside Ford Hall yesterday, advocating for investment in Edmonton. Smith addressing business leaders for the Edmonton Chamber of Commerce's State of the Province. The Premier speaking about the importance of municipal, provincial and federal governments working together to attract private investment to Alberta. When asked about whether visible protests would impact investment, Danielle Smith would simply say she's hoping for a quick resolution.
It's important for families as well to be able to have the things return to normal for their kids. So that's what we're all working towards. I hope we get there very soon.
They're not making an investment on what they see in the next 2 days for a protest. They're looking on what they see for the next 10 years.
We've just asked the AT leaders.
The Premier spoke about a variety of issues, including crime, youth unemployment, and the need for federal approval of pipeline projects. A portion of the Yellowhead Highway west of Edmonton is open again this morning after a semi hauling an excavator damaged an overpass. This happened just after 10 yesterday morning at the turnoff to the Wabamun town site. RCMP tell us a large piece of the overpass fell onto Highway 16. The overpass was closed and eastbound traffic on the highway was redirected. Things were clear and the road opened again late last night. The RCMP says an engineer will assess the structural integrity of the bridge. Police reminding drivers to measure twice, haul once.
We've had a lot of these bridge strikes in the recent time around Edmonton. You know, it damages critical infrastructure. It closes down these really important transportation routes for, significant periods of time. It's really important that truck drivers do that pre-inspection of their vehicle and of their loads that they're carrying.
The RCMP says Alberta transportation officers will be helping determine appropriate charges. Pieces by international street artist Banksy can now be seen in downtown Edmonton. An exhibition called The Art of Banksy Without Limits is taking place inside City Centre. It features more than 200 pieces of work from the anonymous British artist. His subversive, anti-capitalist street art famously uses dark humor of stencil drawings. One of the most well-known pieces is a little girl letting go of a red balloon. Organizers say this is a rare experience that Edmontonians should be taking advantage of.
For me, I feel like we're exposing people to art who don't have the opportunity to be exposed by the art or go to Europe to see the actual buildings where he painted on.
The exhibition opens to the public today and runs through until January.
8:36, here's a view from the CTV Drone Warehouse Park. Wow, it looks fantastic down there. That must be fake turf. That's still pretty green. Looking quite nice as we start off this Friday morning. It's going to be quite nice as we go throughout the day today. We will see a mix of sun and cloud, not as warm as yesterday. Yesterday we made it to 19, but today still being above average seasonal high. That's 11 degrees. We are looking for a high of 13. Right now, 3 in Stony Plain, 4 Elk Island, 3 Namao, 5 at the Blatchford Station, and -3 at the airport. Wind starting to pick up a little bit, starting to feel a little bit of a breeze, and it will continue to pick up. A little bit gusty as we go throughout the afternoon and evening. Temperatures within the city ranging from 3 in Summerside to 6 in Beverly. And for today, again, our high is 13, a mix of sun and cloud, and a little bit windy as we go throughout the afternoon and evening. For tomorrow, 13, another mild start, 2 degrees, lots of sun and breezy. And then Sunday, a lot of uncertainty around Sunday. The models have been changing back and forth. There's a chance that we could see a rain-snow mix midday, depending on the timing and location of a cold front that's expected to come through. Better chance north and northwest of the city, but just keep that in mind. There's the potential for conditions to change on Sunday. And then things settle down, 9 on Monday, 11 on Tuesday. Next week, the rest of it looks quite nice. I have those details, your 10-day forecast in 15 minutes. Kent.
Thank you, Corey. Well, Edmontonians now just have the weekend to decide who they want to lead our city for the next 4 years. This week, we've been profiling 5 mayoral candidates based on who the Chamber of Commerce says are the most popular. This morning, CTV's Nicole Lampa takes a closer look at the campaign of Michael Walters.
So the election's coming up October 20th.
Former councillor Michael Walters hopes to get back into City Hall, this time as mayor. He's pledging to cut taxes, freeze transit fares, and lower utility rates. Walters would like to also expedite permits to grow Edmonton's industrial base. When it comes to public safety, Walters believes the province should play a larger role, saying he would also expand safety teams, which pairs police with social workers. For infills, Walters would like the bylaw to change to 4 units for inner lots and 6 units on corner lots, and says a city catalog of approved infill floor plans and designs is worth exploring. And when it comes to city planning, Walter believes there's a better way to plan Edmonton's development and construction, and echoes his plan to expedite permits for businesses wanting to invest in Edmonton.
We need change in this election, but the change I bring is really experience. So not-for-profit experience, know how City Hall works. I'm a small business owner.
The municipal election is on October 20th. Nicole Lampa, CTV News, Edmonton.
As we approach 20 minutes to 9 o'clock here on your Friday morning commute, let's take a look at the roads. We have a crash in the off-ramp to Ellerslie Road from Calgary Trail. Very busy section of the city, so that's certainly going to impact things. We also have a crash southbound 100th Street at Ellerslie, so it is tricky around Ellerslie Road right now. And we have 2 collisions westbound and southbound, 127th Street and 127th Avenue. So it's getting clogged out there, and emergency personnel will be responding. So if this is part of your drive, try to avoid if you can. Well, you have a chance to win a trip to Paris and a brand new Porsche while helping families in need of the Stollery Children's Hospital. All morning, Kim has been at the grand prize show home for the Mighty Millions Lottery. Looking very comfortable, Kim.
Very cozy. We're just roasting our toesies on the fire pit out here. This is the patio, and it faces the wonderful ravine in the backyard here. It's a massive backyard. Josh, I'm not going to hand you the microphone on account of what happened last time. Disintegrated in your hands.
Yeah.
You spent the night here. We had like the annual Josh sleepover.
Yep.
How was your time here? What do you love about the house?
Oh, I mean, listen, all of these houses are spectacular. Brian and Ashley with Now always do a great job with these houses. The location is amazing. The outdoor space and the indoor space is great. You have 5,800 square feet, but it doesn't feel like overly big. Some of the arches over a lot of the walkways really make it feel nice and homey. And then you go down to that lower level, and you got, I mean, they must be 14-foot ceilings. I mean, I'm 5 foot nothing, so everything feels like a 14-foot ceiling. But it doesn't feel like you're in a lower level. So I did a little yoga in the wellness room this morning. I wanted to try the sauna. I was a little scared about breaking it, as we saw with me and microphones earlier this morning, so I did not. But no, the kitchen is great. The walk-through pantry behind, so you can just sort of keep your mess away from where your cooking and eating space is.
Pantry, as they call it.
And that primary suite is so much nicer than any like luxury hotel you will ever stay in. It's so great. And to have an entire room as a closet, to have a dressing room instead.
Yeah, it's a big retail store essentially. Megan, let's talk about the early bird prizing, because tonight is the deadline. What's the chance of, what do you win essentially if you got a ticket?
Well, you know, with the early bird deadline, we're so excited because literally we only have hours. We only have until midnight tonight, and you could be in to win a trip to Paris, 7 nights, explore all the Paris has to offer. Plus, when you get back, there's going to be a brand new Porsche waiting for you in your driveway.
And that Porsche, it's a 6-speed manual that sounds so incredible when you start it up, and I love a manual.
It sounds fancy. If Josh loves it, then it must be great. What is the 50-50 at right now, Meg?
We are at over $1.3 million. So one lucky winner is going to walk home with half of that.
Nice add-on. Guys, all you need to know is tonight is the deadline. Midnight is the deadline for the Porsche and Paris trip. Get your tickets right now at MightyMillionsLottery.com. And bonus, there's a chance for you to win $1,000 if you text Mighty to 10400. Matt, what
you know
would
what you do with that $1,000?
What?
You buy tickets, and then you win the house and potentially the Porsche.
There you go.
Paris.
All you have to do is text Mighty to 10400. Bye, guys. Ooh, that's nice.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Meg. Still ahead from New York to Edmonton, a new live comedy show promises to turn big questions into bigger laughs.
It's like a big old gig fest in our house.
It's not like
It's a nightmare.
Your Morning Edmonton's Kitchen, provided by Trail Appliances and KitchenAid. Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton, brought to you by CIR Realty, making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta.
Well, an acclaimed comedy duo is bringing their latest show from Toronto, Montreal, New York to Edmonton.
True. People think that since we deal with comedy together that we must laugh all the time.
Yeah, like we wake up in the morning and we start laughing.
It's like a big old gig fest in our house.
It's not like
It's a nightmare.
Big Stuff begins its run at the Citadel tomorrow. Matt Barham and Naomi Sneakus join us this morning. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming in. And Matt, you're originally from Edmonton, and you're from Waterloo, which is nice
Waterloo,
as well.
Ontario.
Yeah. I see. I've been gone 30 years, and they still haven't finished Edmonton.
Yeah.
It's still under construction.
We're working hard on it, though.
Good,
yeah,
good,
we really seem to have ramped it up over this last season, so you'll probably encounter a lot.
Okay, good.
Matt, tell us a bit about Big Stuff and what the catalyst was for the show.
Big stuff happened. What Naomi and I were dealing with, the last of our parents passed away. And when that happened, we obviously felt this empty space in our lives, but we also had to deal with all of the stuff that they left behind.
Yeah.
And it became a bit of a conflict with us because I throw everything away.
Okay.
And Naomi keeps
everything.
Absolutely
I'm going to keep this. Is that cool?
Yeah,
I don't think
you
you're
didn't
allowed
offer
to.
it to me, but I am going to keep it.
And so we, you know, like I've never met a garbage can I didn't want to use as a garbage can. And
everything I can turn into some sort of craft, you know, like a side table or,
so then we realized that we've got something kind of universal. I think a lot of couples go through that. And so we thought there's a show there.
Okay. And now, Naomi, you just finished some shows in Toronto, Montreal, New York. What has the reaction been to the show?
I mean, as Matt was saying, it's so relatable. You talk to anybody who has ever owned anything or anybody who's loved anything, they have stuff in their basement, they have stuff in their drawers, in their closets, and it's relatable that they can't get rid of it. If you have somebody pass away, you're like, I'm going to hold on to it forever. It's hard not to.
It sounds very serious and sentimental, but it's a comedy show.
It is a comedy. Matt and I have a background in Second City, so it's going to be funny.
We met at the Second City in Toronto, and we've been doing comedies ever since. And we process everything through comedy, and even loss is something that we deal with in that way. And so it's a funny show.
Okay.
Yeah.
We wrote it doing like stand-up, duo stand-up. So we tested this material out
in clubs,
audiences and stuff. Yeah. So that's how our muscles work.
Okay, Matt, you're originally from Edmonton.
Yes.
And so bringing it to Edmonton, how does that feel?
It's full circle for me because I went to the University of Alberta Fine Arts acting program. I started at Rapid Fire Theatre here. That is an improvisational company. And I have to
say,
say,
Value Village, don't stop talking about
I also was a janitor, but I didn't think that was helpful. But if you need help at home, and I have to say, the reputation of Edmonton comedians in Toronto, in New York, like it reverberates.
It's
like,
true.
Oh, good.
Yeah, strong comedy community
big
here.
time. I don't know why, but Edmontonians are funny, and it translates across the country.
Okay, and I have a question for both of you. What is something at home that you both hold dear that reminds you of someone?
I mean, I want to find out about you, Corey. Do you have anything at home that you
my mom passed away a few years ago, and I have this teddy bear that was made out of her mom's fur coat.
No.
And so this teddy bear, and it's in my closet, and so I say good morning to it every day.
That's lovely. And is it called Teddy?
It's just called Bear.
Bear. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
It was 50-50 for me.
Yeah.
And is her mom not wearing a coat anymore, or
no?
She's no longer with us.
She's no longer with us. She left without the
jacket. There's just a patch of teddiness, like lifted from the coat.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. What was your mom's name?
Shirley.
Shirley. See, like everybody's got those stories. Mine is like a pen holster my father used to have.
Oh, cool.
Because he was a chemistry professor, so he'd always be like drawing and doodling. I love that. That's my little big stuff.
That's pretty special.
What's yours, Maddie?
I guess, I don't really hold on to things. The only thing that I keep are things Naomi hasn't thrown out. Like she keeps them behind, like she'll pull it out of the garbage.
Yeah, even presents. I'll give him a present, and then the next day I'll be like, "Hey, isn't that your thing that somebody else is wearing?" And
oh no,
I gave Dawn my tie.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Well, I wish we had more time.
Yeah.
The big stuff runs at the Citadel beginning tomorrow night and runs through November 9th. There are still some tickets available, so check it out. But some of it has been selling out, so catch it as it opens up.
Thanks so much.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Here's a view from our CTV drone on the side of Rogers Place, looking down on 104th and 104th. A beautiful start to the day, 13 for a high with a mix of sun and cloud.
Hey, Corey, 100 days. Canadians will be heading to the moon for the first time in 50 years. And one of those astronauts is from right here in Alberta. CTV's Anastasia Dextrine reports.
It's been more than 50 years since a crewed rocket has launched to the moon, and it's been a lifetime since Jeremy Hansen has hoped to do the same.
Achieving this goal of flying in space, it's just really neat.
Hansen says his career journey began as a child. He was inspired by a visit to the Space Museum. He trained as a fighter pilot and was recruited by the Canadian Space Agency in 2009. He's now educating and inspiring students himself.
What do you do if if you can't send supplies to space and you're in the spacecraft and you don't have any fuel or food left?
Yeah, that would be not good. When I was a kid, I was sort of naive about how this all worked. I just thought, surely I can go to space. But now I see what's actually involved and how many people have to come together to make something like this happen. There is also that element of risk that you just can't make absolutely zero. And we're pragmatic about it, but also we just have to accept that reality.
Hansen will be one of 4 astronauts to orbit the moon aboard the Artemis II. The 10-day mission is expected to happen by April 2026. The team hopes to confirm systems and hardware for future human space visits. CSA President Lisa Campbell says the partnership with NASA is a sign of trust in Canadian know-how.
We're also going to be experts in robotics and surface mobility to assist humans living on the moon. Because if you look at the next 10 years, there are about 100 missions planned around the world, and Canada's part of that.
Meanwhile, Federal Innovation, Science and Industry Minister Mélanie Joly says she's excited by what this could mean for future jobs.
We see this as an important collaboration with NASA. We see this as an important, role for our country to play in space exploration. But also, we're at a time where we want to invest even more in our economy. We want to build good jobs in the manufacturing sector, in the tech sector.
It's a giant leap for tech, for Canada, and for generations to come. Anastasia Dextrine, CTV News.
The next frontier.
Yeah. Just imagination starts to run on you when you think about space and what's
totally,
next,
and that you can actually maybe have something on the moon, the structure and people being there. Yeah, totally cool.
Very fun stuff. Think about that as you head into your weekend, everybody.
I'll see you on Monday morning.
What a universe we have in front of us.
Your Morning Edmonton's Kitchen, provided by Trail Appliances and KitchenAid.